Yeah.
On the next game, they gave it to the enemy,
Exactly.
and they countered it with a Disruptor, with the Naga Siren, which is a very, very good setup, since it will be super easy to catch everyone with the Song of the Siren Sleeve, followed by the ultimate coming from the
And you can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. Once the song catches you, you're definitely dead. You're out of the playing field here if you're in the Morphling. Because even if you get the BKB, the Black King bar, if the Disruptor gets the Aghanim Scepter, you're good for them.
Yeah, you'll be rendered useless. And the thing is, of having a Naga Siren Masul, it's a very, very easy hero to use, especially if you just want to farm. In the early, you can use it for disengagement. But at the same time, when the game gets very late and you are having a difficulty finding the engagement that you want, you can always use just pop the sleep.
Yeah. So that's one thing that we can look forward to in this game. Currently, again, we've said before that Thailand can pick up the Morphling and Earthshaker here, but Team Malaysia, they definitely have an answer for that. So talking about the teams here, let's go out of the picture here. Let's talk about the other teams.
The
We have
Philippines.
Team Philippines, of course. We are holding the SEA Games here in Manila. We have to talk about the representatives now. In Thailand. Now, I ask you
To protect the Alchemist. And
yeah, for sure.
even if you do protect the Alchemist, for sure, the other cores will suffer, because Alchemist, he farms multiple lanes. He even farms camp. He clear the wave so quick that he'll be onto the next objective as soon as he finished the other one.
Yeah, and the problem with Alchemist is that, again, it's like the Morphling. It has been solved for the longest of times. We've seen the rise of Flesh Rocks, the Tinies, even the ODs, and even the Ember Spirit mid lane. There are a lot of answers against the Alchemist. Once you invade the jungle, it's really hard for Alchemist. Even if he gets the Radiance, he has a better timing to do that. Even if he gets all the things that he needs, he's just gonna farm until his third item, maybe even the BKB, Assault Cuirass. Even if you get that, there are a lot of ways for the enemy to address the Alchemist.
Actually, if you're new to the game, we are talking about Dota 2. We have a lot of heroes in Dota 2. We have more than 100 heroes in Dota 2 to be picked
I
up.
think 160.
160.
And it's about to become 118 with the addition of the 2 new heroes that are going to be coming out of the patch after the first major.
So what are you looking forward to for the next hero? The Void Spirit, right? It's the Void Spirit.
Yeah, it's the new patch here, the Outlanders. So I'm really excited for the new 2 heroes, but I'm really looking forward to the teams utilizing the 2 new heroes, the Mars. And Pangolier and Dark Relo has been overused for quite some time, but they have fallen off.
Yes.
So I'd really like to see them come back for the current patch, because it's disappointing that Ice Frog has released new heroes for the past 3 years. And yes, it has been abused. Monkey King is one exception, because he is still present in the meta. But the Pangolier and the Dark Relo, as well as the Mars, they have fallen off.
Yeah, the Pangolier is one of the very effective hero when it was very difficult to counter when it first came up. Especially the ultimate, it's very difficult to stop. But once the players and the team have adjusted to the meta, it's very easy now to counter the Pangolier. I want to see the Dark Willow though.
Yeah, I think you're talking about counters here for the Pangoliers, but the thing about Pangolier is there's a single counter to the hero, and it's a cheese peak right now in the current meta. It's the Bloodseeker. It's played on position 1, position 3, and position 4. So that's something that we can look forward to if ever a team picks up the Pangolier. It can be countered by a cheese peak.
Because you just use the
Just use the Rupture, and he needs to
What's
cancel
the interaction of a Blade Mail?
Oh, that definitely kills the Bloodseeker.
So you use the Pangolier ulti, you pop the Blade Mail, that definitely kills the Bloodseeker, right?
Yeah, well the thing is, if you are the Pangolier and you know that he has a higher HP, even if you use Blade Mail and you'd want to kill him, you'd die first, right? Even if you get the damage reduction, the Rupture is pure damage. So there's no real way for you to kill the Bloodseeker under the ball if you don't have higher HP against the Bloodseeker.
But I think the Pangolier, the Pango will have a higher HP because simply of the nature of the hero, because it's a strength hero, right?
Yeah, at some
Pangolier and Bloodseeker is just
agility hero. Yeah, but the problem with Bloodseeker is that he is very utilized in the lane. The power of the Bloodseeker lies on the first 5 levels. The pure damage on the what do you call that? The Blood Rite. It's very abusive in the lane. It's really hard for any hero to win against a Bloodseeker. I think one exception is the Slark, but even the Slark is a bad matchup against the Bloodseeker. Once he gets level 6, you can't play against the Bloodseeker.
One play around against the Bloodseeker will be having those support that can actually save you.
Yeah,
like the
but
Dazzle.
the thing is, the Slark is really powerful when it comes to his ability to regen. But if you're up against a Bloodseeker, you can't even do that.
And I think it's now time for our first match of the day. This will be Thailand versus Malaysia for Dota 2. On the Radiant side, it will be Team Thailand, and on the Dark side, this will be Team Malaysia.
Again, as we've said, they don't like the IO here. Team Thailand will be removing the hero for good here in this game 1. Malaysia has removed the Tiny, again, one of the most invasive heroes in the current game. So they might look to pick up the Alchemist here for Team Malaysia.
So Thailand banning the Morphling. Surprisingly, they're the one who banned the hero that I'm expecting them to pick, which is the Morphling. So Morphling is out of the game. For Malaysia, their second ban is another very good utility hero, which is the Abaddon.
Yep. Again, one of the most popular heroes here in the current meta. It can be played in multiple roles. So if you're Malaysia, you know that Team Thailand is first pick here. You don't want to be giving that hero for them.
So we are looking for the third pick now for both teams, and we will start the first phase of the drafting phase. What do you think should be the first phase pick here?
I think it's either an Alchemist or a Magnus. It has been a popular choice here for first pick teams because the Magnus you can play in multiple roles as well.
Yeah,
you can play it on the off
flexible.
lane and you can play it on the position 5.
4. Even 4.
Yeah, even 4. But right now it's popular on position 5. Thailand will be banning out the Phoenix, one of the most popular heroes as well on Malaysia. Oh, there you go, Night Stalker.
Night Stalker,
We've
of
actually
course.
missed that one out.
Yeah. Actually, Night Stalker is surprisingly very popular in this meta, being played by TNC on both position 3 and position 1.
Yeah. So this is the classic opener for a lot of the teams here. Team Thailand will be opening up with the Keeper of the Light. Malaysia, they can answer with a Chen here if they want to fight the early game battle, or they can go for the Mirana.
Keeper of the Light is first pick.
Okay.
They go for an
It
Ogre.
should be a Mirana.
So,
no.
So
Okay.
Void Mirana is the opener for Malaysia. Surprisingly, Mirana, Thailand should pick Mirana, right?
Well, they can pick up a carry here since they already see the Faceless Void. But it's really interesting that Malaysia has picked up the Faceless Void against the Keeper of the Light. Keeper of the Light is a really good answer against Faceless Void. If you use the Mana Leak against him, yes, he can time walk out, but he can't walk. The problem with Faceless Void is the little mana pool. So if you are the Void and you're not careful with your positioning, you might get punished here by the Keeper of the Light, especially with the Will-O-Wisp.
But that's just the minor.
Yeah, that's just a theory.
That's just a minor effect of the Keeper of the Light on the Faceless Void. The big problem for the Faceless Void here is if he decided to use Chrono and he doesn't have BKB, the Flicker can just easily disrupt the DPS output of the Faceless Void.
Yeah, I really like this Axe pickup. Because if this is an Ogre pos 5, this lane would be destroyed by Axe. Both melee heroes here on a safe lane, that's an easy win for the Axe. And if ever Malaysia decides to go for an offlane Ogre, that's another melee core that can be punished by Axe.
So Axe is actually a very good pick, as you said. Axe should be the position 3 here for Thailand, right? So Thailand not picking the mid lane, not picking the carry yet. They want to see more about the pick here for Team Malaysia. Team Malaysia,
It's interesting that Thailand has banned out the Shadow Demon here. It's really good against Ogre Magi and Faceless Void because of the Purge. You can't use your buffs on the Faceless Void once SD has used the Demonic Purge on Faceless Void. And one thing to note about the Shadow Demon against Faceless Void is if he ever gets a one-man Chrono, it's immediately saved by the disruption of the Shadow Demon.
So Invoker will be banned out 5th by Team Thailand here. I think Malaysia should go for at least a Gyrocopter on the mid lane. I like Gyrocopter here. It's synergized well with the Chronosphere.
Yeah, it can be contested. Malaysia, if they ever want to get the Gyrocopter, they should get it as soon as possible because they are first pick here in the second phase. Because if they don't get that, Thailand will have the choice here if they want the Gyrocopter or another Shrink. core, because I think you don't want to be picking up an agility core against Faceless Void, with the exception of the Phantom Lancer, which can build up the Diffusal Blade against the Faceless Void just to burn up the mana.
But I think with having the axe on the opposing team, you won't go for Phantom Lancer.
There you go.
Instead, Malaysia going for a Mirana. So I'm still hoping that they go for the Gyrocopter, because Gyrocopter is one of those heroes that is very effective against the Keeper of the Light, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Even if the Flicker was deployed, you'll be able to hit them with the Flak Cannon.
And once you've used the call down, it's very safe to be inside a Will-O-Wisp, because
They won't be able to
a missile
engage,
coming
right?
down. Yeah, I'd really want to see a Race King here come out from Thailand. Just the mere fact that Malaysia will have a hard time bursting him down. And the thing about Race King is that he has 2 lives.
Dire team pick.
But let's see here, Thailand will be picking up the Rubik just to make sure that they can steal the spells away from Team Malaysia. One thing to note is that the Faceless Void and Miranda combination, it's one of the strongest late game terrors you can ever have. The threat of the Moonlight into the Chronosphere.
And even the value of the arrow. The follow-up disable, once the Chrono is deployed, if it's not enough to kill you, for sure there will be a follow-up arrow for another additional 5 to 6 seconds.
If 6 seconds is not enough, add 4. That's 10, quick maths.
Actually, it's 5 in max range, the arrow. Right?
It's 4.25. 4.25.
And it will be multiplied by 3 if you go for the talent of the Miranda of having the 3 arrow.
But the thing is, if Rubik gets the arrow and it hits you, it lasts forever. So Team Malaysia here, they can consider picking up either an off lane or a pos 5, because they don't want to be revealing the mid lane here. They do have the last pick. So as much as possible, they'd want to reserve that role for the last slot of this draft.
What if Malaysia go for a... No, they cannot go for maybe an off-lane Ogre.
I think they need a save, but the thing is, there's a Legion Commander. Okay, never mind.
Okay,
they picked up
Bane.
a pos 5 Bane. That's a save against the Axe. Once you use the Nightmare or the Fiend's Grip on a single hero, Axe cannot really engage, because there's a -1 already for Team Malaysia.
So I think with the Bane being picked by Malaysia, I think this is safe to say that this is an Ogre Magi on the
Off-lane.
3rd position, right?
I would have
because
really liked to
they'll
see
be
a
playing
Legion
the Bane and the Mirana as their support. They very effective in taking down early kills, especially with the slip into a arrow setup. That is a sure kill 100% of the time. But here comes the insurance policy for Thailand. They go for that big bad hero, the late game hero, the Spectre.
I like this one. There's no pure damage coming out from Team Malaysia, and once the Spectre is up in the middle to the late game, it's very hard for them to bring him down, even though we've said that there is a 10-second disable on the side of Team Malaysia. The thing about Spectre is it's a very tanky carry.
5 seconds remaining.
So down to the last ban and last pick for both teams here. What do you think should be the last pick for both teams, given that they have already revealed 80% of the line?
I think Kunkka is one of the contested heroes in both of the drafts. Kunkka on the side of Malaysia does provide the combination of the Chronosphere into the boat, but on the side of Thailand, it will provide additional layer of sustainability on the Axe and the Spectre.
I think Malaysia should go for a range hero, because they have already 2 core melee hero in the Ogre and in the Faceless Void. They need someone to dish out damage at a very effective range.
Yeah, both of the teams banned out very good heroes here. Kunkka on the side of Team Malaysia, knowing that they're not going to be able to get the hero, and it's really good on the side of Team Thailand, so they banned it out. And now on the side of Team Thailand, they banned out the Viper, a really good counter against the Spectre. Once Viper gets his Rod of Ados, there's no running away from this hero, and even though the Spectre is so tanky, his passive gets disabled by the Viper.
Yeah. So, what should be the last pick here for Thailand? They are now on towards the reserve time. They are thinking heavily about this last pick. Mid lane should be the last pick, right?
Yeah. A hero that doesn't mind being ganked here.
I think they should. I think one of the effective hero for Thailand here should be the Outworld Devourer, simply because of the save that it can provide. Especially if he's not caught inside the Chronosphere, you can actually save your teammate here.
One problem with the OD is that he doesn't know his matchup, and there are definitely bad matchups still for him. The Puck and the Lina is still on the playing field here, so I think Thailand can safely go with Puck or a Lina or even a Leshrac.
Actually, Malaysia could also go for the OD, simply because of the Mirana. They can cheese their way to victory, especially in the early laning phase. If you go for that Astral Imprisonment on towards the Mirana Arrow, that could guarantee a kill on towards the mid lane and on the side lane as well. If you have a Vayne roaming around, just the Vayne not showing himself in the map, that would give definitely Team Thailand a hard time of laning.
Yeah, and this is the problem of a team that gets the first pick. If they don't get a mid hero on the first phase of the draft, or even the second phase of the draft, it's very hard to pick a last slot mid laner, because you know that it's gonna get countered. The thing about picking up a mid laner on the early parts of the draft, you see what the other team is setting up. If they ever pick up a mid lane hero, you can immediately assume that they're not gonna last pick the mid laner.
And given the circumstance with the pick of Team Malaysia, it's actually super difficult to pick. Yeah, so they go for a Puck hero, which is one of the most elusive hero in the game.
Yep.
So let's see what will be Team Malaysia respond here. So
that's one way to answer the Faceless Void as well as the Mirana. There's no getting out of the Dream Coil here for Team Malaysia. And one way to negate the Fiend's Grip from the Bane, can immediately use the Blink Dagger to jump on the Bane here just to cancel out
Blink Silence,
the Fiend's Grip.
I think the strategy here for Thailand is you build an early Aghanim Scepter for the Puck and you abuse the blinding light from the keeper.
Even the Dagon. The Dagon, yeah.
I think the Aghanim Scepter into a blinding light.
It works well in the with the Will-O-Wisp of the Keeper of the Light. Team Malaysia here, they have the option of picking up the DK or the Templar Assassin, one of the few heroes that are really good against Puck, because they don't mind playing into this very aggressive hero because they just want farm.
I think Team Malaysia should go for a hero, not a hero to counter the Puck, but the Spectre. Spectre should be the big problem for them here, because majority of the hero from Team Thailand is actually will be used as just a diversion for their Spectre to be able to farm more effectively, especially the Axe. If you got a very good timing Blink Dagger towards your Axe for Team Thailand, you'll be able to roam the map, create space for your Spectre, and hope that he'll carry you in towards the late game.
Yeah, I really like the choice here. It's either the DK or the TA, because number one, they need a jump, and that's going to be the DK or the TA with a Blink Dagger. Number two, they need to burst down their targets. TA is really good in assassinating supports. And just look at the supports of Team Thailand. They look like tissue papers against TA. Rubik and Keeper of the Light, if they don't react as fast as possible, if TA gets the jump, they're going to be eliminated under a second here. So it's a very nice last pick here. I really like how they composed the draft here for Team Malaysia. So if we're going to ask me for predictions, I'm already heading towards Team Malaysia.
I think with the draft of these two teams, I think it's just a matter of initiation. Both teams, they have good initiators. They have saves. They have very good team fight composition. It all goes down to initiation and execution when it comes to team fight. But I do favor the lineup with the late game carry, the Spectre.
So you're a very huge fan of the Spectre. And again, as you've said, it all boils down to the execution, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is the battle between Team Thailand and Team Malaysia. Whoever gets the upper hand, of course, is the better team of this matchup. And whoever gets the victory here should be advancing to the next stage.
Yes, the next stage should be the best of three grand finals for today.
And definitely it is an interesting match to see, as we already have the game here on the side of the Radiant. You have Team Thailand, Masaros on the Puck, TNT on the Rubik, not finished yet. Perry as the Axe, Lion Axe on the Keeper of the Light, and Q on the Spectre.
For Team Malaysia, it's Donnie, Son of Snow, using the Spectre. Bakri on the Bane. It's Son Nopai using the Ogre, the Boker using the Templar Assassin, and Helmi on the Mirana.
Now, the reason why I really like the TA against the Spectre is that for the longest time, Sven has been considered overall the top. We have an engagement here on the top lane. Axe is playing very aggressive. They have 3 heroes here on the top lane.
This is a 2v3 engagement, and I think that the dark side should go back towards the safety of their tier 1 tower.
30 seconds.
So both teams just try to secure the runes here, but a lot of damage being dished out by the side of Thailand towards the top lane.
Yeah, and I really like the positioning of Team Thailand here. They didn't show the 3 heroes. They only showed Axe on the top lane, so they don't know. Team Malaysia doesn't have an idea that the Rubik and the Keeper of the Light is here in the top lane to contest the boundary.
Actually, they have used normal attack to dish out those damage. So I think they know that at least 2 heroes.
Did Keeper?
Begins.
Okay, never mind.
2 heroes are in this top lane for Team Thailand, but definitely they have an idea here.
Almost getting 4 boundary runes here for Team Thailand, but it's going to be a 2-for-2 trade, as the Ogre was able to snatch the boundary rune on the bottom lane now. Going back to the Templar Assassin, historically, Sven has been one of the biggest counters against Spectre because he deals a chunk of huge damage. And TA is, she falls on the same archetype as the Sven. Once you blink in, you dish out a huge amount of damage. And if the dispersion is a bothersome ability against other heroes, Templar Assassin doesn't mind that because there's a refract on his hero.
Yeah, Templar Assassin, especially on the early laning phase, is a very, very powerful hero, especially if he gets at least a level or two on towards the refraction and even the third skill.
Yeah. Again, we said before that the Axe is a very nice pick here for Team Thailand. The reason why Team Malaysia chose to go for the Bane plus 5 here, because if they ever go for a plus 5 Ogre, they're going to be, run down by the Axe.
So this is a full position 3 Ogre, with Mirana being a support, with a Ring of Bacillus, surprisingly, for mana regeneration here. So he'll be able to spam that arrow towards the jungle whenever they won't be trying to go for a kill. So at least in terms of the last hit and deny, it is the Puck leading the game with 7-0 at the moment. Templar Assassin is 6-0. So both heroes just focusing towards their farm, not trying to go for denies here.
Yeah, of course, Puck does have the advantage on level 1. He can safely secure CS in the middle lane, but once the levels stack up for the TA, it's going to get harder for the Puck to get last hits. Now, talking about the bottom lane, it's not a bad lane for Team Malaysia. It's an Ogre and Mirana, but the reason why Team Thailand picked up the Spectre is because of the fact that there's no lane threat against this hero. It's just an Ogre and a Mirana.
They can actually go for a setup if they'll be able to find a window here, but the Keeper of Light being there, it's a very difficult lane.
Yeah, because of the blinding light. And mind you, there are 9 tangos on the Spectre.
And definitely the 2-1-2 setup is heavily favoring the Thai team here.
Yeah, of course.
The Boyd is having a hard time, just 5-0 at the moment. Actually, both the position 1 hero for both teams, they just have 5-0 in terms of their CS here.
Yeah, for Team Thailand, I think they should come out of the laning stage with 2 lane victories. The top lane and the safe lane. Both side lanes, with the exception of the middle lane. The TA should have a better time in that matchup because...
Especially if both heroes get level 5, right?
Yeah.
Because it's very difficult for APOC to remove level 3 of refraction.
Yeah. And the thing about Hawk is that she likes to rotate, and you can't do that against a TA because if you leave the lane, she'll destroy your tower.
So back towards our action. This is the top lane now. Low HP towards Bane, but he do have a lot of mana, so he'll be able to spam. But here comes the arrow connecting. I think, and this Spectre should go down. No, he'll be able to walk towards the safety, but the Lip trying to go for the kill is the Mirana, but the salve being used. He'll be able to cancel the salve, Lip out into safety, but they do lose the first blood here as the Bane goes down towards the top lane.
Middle lane though, Puck is doing a very good job in terms of zoning out the TA away from the waves, even depleting the refraction charges from the Templar Assassin.
Well, let's see how will Team Malaysia respond towards that first blood.
I'm really curious to see what is the first item that the Spectre has bought. I think it should be the chainmail to build up the face boots. Oh no, he's actually building
Battle
up.
Hunger committed towards his Bane. Axe do have his boots, but he'll be able, but the Bane should be able to walk away from this with the help of the Nightmare. Again, harassment coming towards the side of Team Malaysia here towards the top lane.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate that the Spectre on the bottom lane cannot get the stick on his side shop. He's forced to buy the stick from his base, so he needs to wait for the career before he gets the sustained item he needs. So this is the time for Team Malaysia to play very aggressive on his bottom lane. The arrow will not connect on the Spectre as the Keeper of the Light just secures the safety farming space for the Spectre.
What do you think should be the route of item here for the Spectre? Should he go for a Soul Ring for the ability to farm efficiently with the use of the dagger and transition towards a Radiant still?
I think there are two ways.
Or will you go for the Diffusal?
Wait, what? Mirana died on the bottom lane. I think she has 2 routes here. She either goes for Facebook Soul Ring into the Blade Mail just to make sure that even if she gets Chrono Speared here by the Faceless Void, she's very tanky, right? It's either that or go for a Yasha then into the Radiance.
Actually, the kill towards the bottom lane going towards the Spectre is a very big hit.
Yeah, that's a very huge kill.
The Ogre and Mirana, their main job is just to make life miserable for Spectre, not to give him kill.
Yeah. So again, there are 2 ways to look at the game for the Spectre here. It's either she wants to fight, so she goes for the Blade Mail, or she just wants to farm. wherein she buys the Asha just to make sure whenever he uses the Hunt, he can fight with his team, but it's not going to be fighting 24/7. Just to make sure with the Asha, he can farm up and fight at the same time.
The telekinesis, they should be able to secure the kill, and this kill should go as well towards the way of the Thai team as they have managed to take down the two heroes from the side of Team Malaysia, Boyd and Bane, getting owned in the top lane.
Yeah, this is a problem with the Faces Void facing up against the Axe. And you don't have the best of the supports here on your lane. You only have a Bane. It's not even good against Axe.
As 5 minutes in, it's already a 2K goal lead going in favor of the Thailand team. As you can see here, I think the problem here for Malaysia is they are not utilizing their lineup here. They have a Bane and Mirana, but both heroes are playing on the opposite side of the map. They should be playing the Bane and Mirana together to utilize the early advantage that this hero have.
Yeah, you've mentioned the aggression prowess of the Mirana and the Bane. They could definitely have put up 3 heroes on the top lane just to make sure that this Rubik has a hard time protecting the Axe. Even though you're not getting killed on the Axe, at the very least there is a pressure for Team Malaysia. Now the Mirana has been useless on the bottom lane. He even fed a kill onto the Spectre.
Yes, and he's just using those arrows to secure neutral, to secure the card at least, but they are not putting enough pressure towards the Spectre lane. As you can see on our network, on the left side of your screen, the Spectre is currently number 2, but here comes the action lane, the top lane. Boyd is on the, here comes the Mirana setup, the arrow won't connect, Rubik with the save. Waking up the Axe, and they will avoid that arrow.
Yep, that's a very nice heads-up play as the Axe saw the TP animation coming out from the Mirana. So he knows that there's going to be a nightmare setup coming out from Team Malaysia, so the Rubik was aware.
Yeah, very good coordination as well on their side to be able to pull up that save.
Yep.
And here is now the Ogre alone, trying to harass the Spectre, but I don't think he'll be able to do anything to stop or slow the farm of this Spectre, as Axe and Spectre continuing to lead the game with 3,000 network and 2,700 respectively for the Spectre.
Yeah. He's actually going for a power treads here instead of a phase boost. I do understand the choice because there's a mix of damage coming out from Team Malaysia in the form of physical and magical, but he just needs to farm in this game, and phase boost does provide you the ability to move from camp to camp faster compared to the power treads. But again, it's it's a different route and it works in this game.
Let's see. If you were Team Malaysia, what adjustment should you do? Here comes an aggressive play. They'll be able to call him. Let's see, but here comes the Bane with a save. The sleep.
The lucky bash.
Arrow will fly in, and now they have predicted that the Rubik will try to save, and this should be a kill going in favor of Team Malaysia as they'll be able to secure their first kill. But this is the Axe trying to chase. Here comes the back as well. Here is the call. This is the hunt as well, and here is Team Malaysia responding with the hunt, the call. They're trying to chase for their second kill, double kill going in the way of the puck, and the Mirana is on the run. I think he'll be able to survive here, not unless the Axe will be able to call him. But he'll be able to leap in towards the safety, and the Axe won't go for the first 2.
And then again, you see that Team Malaysia, they know that they can definitely set up a kill here with the Mirana combination as well as the Bane, but the problem is it's too late at this moment.
I think the next power spike here for Team Malaysia is the timing on the Dagger or Desolator for their Templar Assassin. Currently, the Templar Assassin is the one leading the game in terms of overall network. Arrow will fly in. They'll be able to connect. The Templar Assassin will deploy a trap, but there's the call, slowing it down. Ogre trying to hold him into position. There's no hunt. There's no Dream Call. And here is the Templar Assassin taking part of the fight, but they are trying to chase the buck. This is a very difficult kill, and I think they won't be able to get this kill. Templar Assassin, though, is sitting at level 9 already.
Yeah, this is the problem with the matchup that Team Thailand has put themselves into. It is a puck. If you look at the puck's item, there's no bottle here. He didn't contest TA in terms of the lane, so the TA, he has gotten 8 minutes of free farm for the entirety of the game, and now she is sitting with the power treads, an orb of venom, a Blightstone in his inventory going towards the Desolator.
Yeah, and he also has a very significant experience advantage. As you can see, Pak is just sitting at level 7 despite taking part of a team fight towards the top lane, but the Templar Assassin, he is already sitting at level 9, and here is a Chronosphere.
Where's the follow-up? Here comes the Mirana with the arrow after Chronosphere, and that should be a secured kill here for Team Thailand.
Starstorm securing that kill. I don't know what Team Thailand is doing there. They've deployed a smoke. Usually if you go for a smoke play, you go for a kill. But they have fed that kill towards the Faceless Void and the Mirana.
I think the keeper wanted to place an observer ward in the jungle of the on the side of Team Malaysia, because you know that at some point TA will occupy that space for the triangle camp as well as his jungle stack, ancient stack rather. But it's a very weird smoke, as you've said.
And as we have talked about earlier, this is now the time for the Mirana to take over the bottom lane. Faceless Void is now farming towards their jungle, so this is now a free lane for the Mirana. Should be able to get at least a couple of items up here, but here comes the Axe with that aggressive play.
TP?
Yes, he'll be able to escape. The Ogre is so tanky, and he'll be able to escape that attempt from the Thailand squad.
Yeah, even though the TA is getting a lot of free farm, the Puck has been finding good rotations here so far. He actually rotated towards the top lane to get the Ogre kill here. Unfortunately, again, the TP is successful on the side of Team Malaysia. Now, with the Veil of Discord, this Puck is looking to play very aggressive on the map.
Yeah, a lot of magical damage on their side, especially that Veil of Discord. Also, on top of that Rubik offensive aura.
Yeah, there you go. Team Thailand already invading the jungle of Team Malaysia. They know that TA will be farming on the jungle.
Towards the mid lane committed. Here is the silence though, but the arrow connecting towards the Axe, and there should be a kill going in their favor as the Axe go. But here comes the same. The Keeper of the Light with his ultimate trying to delay. They'll be able to secure the kill on towards the base. And here comes the chase. Here comes the Templar Assassin being held by the Keeper of the Light ultimate. A 2-for-2 trade for both teams. That the Spectre going down. So I think that the engagement should favor Team Malaysia because they've managed to take down the Spectre.
Yeah, he was able to get the kill here on the Bane, but he dove too deep. He thought that the Puck was going in alongside him, but he was busy dealing with the TA.
Templar Assassin dishing too much physical damage on towards this early fights, and I think TA should go for the next item BKB, given that there's a lot of magic damage on the side of Thailand, and as well a lot of crowd control skills.
I think he can be very greedy here and go for the Blink first before the BKB, because she will be getting I think a 12-30 Desolator, even faster.
Oh, he already have like almost 3,000
yeah,
Desolator.
Needs, I think almost 1,000 gold.
Yeah. Oh, I think for the Desolator it's just a couple of hundred gold.
Yeah. There's going to be a stack here on the ancient camp of Team Malaysia. If not, it's for the Faceless Void.
What do you think should be the play here for Malaysia? After the Desolator completed on your Templar Assassin, TA should go for participate on team fights, right? You should be looking for engagement as you can capitalize on the high damage output that the Templar Assassin can provide.
Well, they can definitely do that, but you shouldn't be looking for kills. You should look to take objectives here for Team Malaysia. You have Chronosphere, you can definitely set up a push here on the bottom lane. That's where you can set up your wards just to make sure that you have the vision needed for you to execute team fights. Now, Team Thailand, they're actually the ones who are on a timer here. They should be making moves as long as the Templar Assassin doesn't have the Desolator and BKB timing on his hands.
Keeper of the Light showing his position towards his bottom lane. He is trying to contest the push that is coming from Team Malaysia. And let's see, Moonlight Shadow will be committed here by Team Malaysia. Will they be able to find the play? And I think they heard us. I think they heard us.
Rip.
Here comes the pin script into the leap. I think this should be a very late. No, the arrow actually connected. And they'll be able to find that kill towards that mid laner. That is a huge kill. Both of your support getting a lot of experience from that. And that should definitely stop the momentum of Team Thailand.
Yeah, it's very well executed. The thing about that invade that Team Malaysia has done is, if you look at the map, there's a ward on the jungle side of Team Thailand, and they know that the Puck is farming in the mid lane and on the jungle camps. They know that they don't see the Puck on the right side of the jungle, so they can assume that the Puck is farming on the left side of the bottom part of the jungle.
Let's see now what will be the next play here. Keeper of the Light continuing to spam his Illuminate here.
Is looking to strengthen the Chronosphere here. He wants to use it. This allows farming space for the Templar Assassin on the top side of the map.
They won't be able to find the Keeper of the Light though, as Faceless Void is still under level 10 here. Templar Assassin finding the Rubik. I think they'll be able to find the skill. There's the telekinesis trying to delay, but I don't think they'll be able to survive 4 heroes. I think 2 is just enough, but Team Malaysia is just trying to make sure that they'll be able to secure that kill. I think maybe they're thinking that at least the Rubik is with someone else
Yeah, and this is the problem with TA. You need to invade her jungle with a sentry ward because you have to always assume that TA has vision over you because of the fact that, well, there are observer wards, but there is a trap on TA. So you can't assume that he doesn't see you. Yes, there's a sentry ward there, but it doesn't clip the trap placement of the TA.
Yeah, for little skirmishes, I think the vision should favor the Malaysia squad. As you said, they have a Templar Assassin. But in terms of overall team fight, when the Spectre decided to go for a team fight, the overall vision should be in favor of Team Thailand because of the illusion.
Yeah, it's like this. If you want to kill a TA, put a sentry ward on your feet, just to make sure that there's no trap set up by the TA.
Yeah.
Now there's another smoke coming out from Team Malaysia.
Be able to find the book here, and the arrow flying in as well.
Oh, the
connecting.
Will-O-Wisp.
Keeper of the Light, Will-O-Wisp here, but that won't be enough as the grip will be committed as well. The Keeper of the Light dying, and they'll be able to find this Rubik, and this poor Rubik will go down as the third victim here. Three-shotted by the Templar Assassin, and with that, a double kill for the Templar Assassin, and the lead is now in favor of Team Malaysia here. The thing here is, they're not utilizing this axe. This axe is super rich at the start of the laning phase, but they're not being able to utilize the axe. This is now starting to be a problem here for Team Thailand.
Yeah, and just look at the money on the back of TA. He just finished the Desolator, and he is about to pick up the Blink Dagger for Team Thailand here.
And another, but the Dream Coil will be committed here. They'll be able to find the Mirana, but the TP
almost
will push through. The Bane will survive. Mirana will go down, and that's the Templar Assassin. Blink Dagger completed.
Yep.
This would actually allow Team Malaysia to go to a greater objective, which is the Roshan.
This is now the timing of Team Malaysia. Team Thailand is now playing on the hands of the Templar Assassin, but I want to go back to the kill on the puck on the bottom lane. Again, one of the very good counters against Faceless Void is the Keeper of the Light because of the Will-O-Wisp. But if you saw the Bane, he casted the Fiend's Grip immediately after the flicker, just to make sure that the puck gets disabled for one more second.
So they'll be able to finish him, right?
Yeah.
So let's see here what will be the next play for both teams. We are now 10-11, 2K Gold League going in favor of Thailand. This game is surely very close.
BKB picked up here by the Faceless Void just to make sure there are no disables.
But he is spotted here.
The
Keeper of the Light is spotted. Let's see what will Team Thailand response be. They'll try to go for a chase.
You don't see him. He went through the path where the tower's behind. The mid lane doesn't see him.
No, but the courier.
Oh, the courier.
The courier have spotted the Keeper of the Light. So they're making a move now. So Keeper of the Light using the blinding light there just to push the Ogre away from him. Ogre going for 5 of insight.
Yep, there are a lot of magical damage on the side of Team Thailand. Physical, it mostly comes from the axe at this moment. They're very scared right
What's
now.
the item for axe at the moment? Does he have his Blink Dagger already?
Yeah. He's going for
yeah,
a
he do have his
here.
Blink Dagger and now transitioning towards the Blade Mill. Now it's time for them to make a play. Let's see. Will they be able to find the opening that they'll be looking for here?
Yeah.
To at least get some of the lost momentum back towards their side.
See the Faceless
Moonlight
Void.
of Shadow. Here comes that Void. Go quick. Faceless Void. So low, and he will go down. A lot of control going in their favor. The flicker as well. They'll be able to find the Ogre. The arrow will fly in, but the Dream Ball connecting thing onto Ogre is too damn tanky. He won't die. This Ogre won't die. And here comes the buyback for the Faceless Void. He will try to join the team fight. Bane is on its way. Axe will fall. Here is that Fuel Scepter setup. Will they be able to find the Keeper of the Light?
Oh my god!
2 hits on towards the Keeper of the Light, but Rubik will be able to use the stolen time walk there. Arrow will fly in, but he won't find the target. And the Ogre finding the opening. Triple kill for your Templar Assassin. And that should be a tier 2 tower going in their favor as well.
Oh, they were too greedy. It was a nice heads-up play. They saw the Moonlight come out from the Faceless Void. Even though they don't see the entire team of Team Malaysia, they know that Team Malaysia wanted to engage. But the mere fact that you have gotten the most important kill, the Faceless Void, they should have backed off. Again, you were playing into the hands of the TA, and mind you, she doesn't even have the BKB yet.
Yes, and one big factor for the team fight going in favor of Team Malaysia is the Spectre not having his Radiance yet. 18 minutes into the game, he almost have that Sacred Relic, and once the Radiance is up, it will exponentially increase the farm rate of this Spectre, and actually could participate onto the next team fight as well.
Yeah, alongside the Midas as well. So that definitely will accelerate the Spectre as this game goes later on. But the problem that they're facing right now is that the TA is too big at the moment.
Too big at the moment. The Ogre too tanky for them to take down, even despite having 4 heroes trying to take down the Ogre. The Ogre surviving that assault, which gives time for the Faceless Void to bot back and of course use the I didn't think he used the Chrono for the team fight.
He still has the Chronosphere here for the
they'll be able to find the opening. There's that grip just to secure this, and that's the Keeper of the Light going down.
I think it's impossible for them to contest this, even though the Keeper has buyback and there's a Dream Call on the pop. Just the mere fact that they don't have any single way to take down a TA. You're not supposed to take this Roshan. And Team Malaysia, they're just abusing the fact that they're stronger right now as they push the Tier 1 tower on the top lane and they go immediately straight to Rosh.
And Pop is trying to do everything on his arsenal, trying to apply pressure towards his bottom lane, trying to force some reaction here. But there's a TP coming in though. Pop will be able to escape. Moonlight Shadow will be used by Team Malaysia.
They don't see this.
Let's see, will they be able to find someone? That's the question here.
They can look for the Pop. She just TP'd on the Shrine here in the jungle. Faceless Void is looking for a Chronosphere target here.
Surprisingly, Team Thailand, they still have a Tier 1 tower in their mid lane, which gives them a lot of room to farm and a lot of information as well.
I think TA didn't try to push down this Tier 1 tower. He just wanted to farm on the earlier part of the game as the Pop didn't really contest him during the laning stage.
Now a 5k goal lead going in favor of Team Malaysia. What should be the play here for Team Thailand? Should they wait for that Radiance, for that Spectre, or should they try to contest the next objective here?
You know, the TA just bought the BKB like a candy. And there go the Chronosphere.
2-man Chronosphere, but the Flicker, Templar Assassin jumping into position, but he will be pushed towards the bottom lane. Axe with the counter, there's the call, and they'll be able to take down that big, bad Templar Assassin, and they will try to look for more as the Spectre joining the fight, joining the fray. The Ogre Magi just tipping away. Call will not connect, and it will end up as a 1-for-1 trade, but the big kill going in favor of Team Thailand as they take down that Templar Assassin.
That's probably one of the biggest blunders that I've seen. Team Malaysia, they should have just waited for the BKB to arrive on the Templar Assassin. He played like he had a BKB on that team fight. He blinked in because there is a Will-O-Wisp that is in front of her. So she blinked in for the Keeper of the Light kill. But the thing is, the blinding light.
And here comes the axe with the call. Arrow will connect towards the back. This Ogre still too damn tanky, and he will still survive. Mirana with that lift-in use trying to save the call target.
Yeah, going back, the blinding light prevented Team Malaysia from getting any kill because the way that they take down cores is by the right clicks of the Faceless Void and the Templar Assassin. So they should just need to wait for the BKBs, and the Spectre right now has the Radiance.
This should be now a game changer because the Radiance simply counters the Templar Assassin, right? You can easily burn through the refraction charge.
And it provides the miss chance for your team. But then again, the BKB is already up. So the timing matches up well here for Team Malaysia. They should just wait for the Chronosphere and go for the next objective.
So Manta Style should be the next item choice here for the Spectre. The Faceless Void is, I think, trying to go for a BKB of his own, realizing that the main problem for them for their engagement is that Will-O-Wisp, right?
Yeah, I think for the Spectre here, he finishes the Manta and goes for a Skadi just to beef up his HP here, effective HP, and dish out more physical damage against the Faceless Void, as well as the TA.
So Mirana showing himself here towards the top lane. Spectre just farming. I think Team Thailand should be contented that just playing passively, right? At the back of their Spectre, they know that their Spectre, the items will now come because of the Radiance being completed with the Midas as well. So this Spectre should be ready to fight within the next 7 or 10 minutes here.
Yeah, they should be feeling relaxed right now, knowing that the Spectre is already scaling. As you mentioned, there's a hand of Midas and the Radiance on the zero. So they will just continue to scale towards the late game. But the problem is that they're facing into a Templar Assassin. Not the best matchup for the Spectre, but it does provide you the leeway to have this monster of a carry on the late game.
So Faceless Templar Assassin. They'll be able to
very
find.
long
There's a very good call, but the Yule Scepter setup here. The Will-O-Wisp BKB has been popped. Axe is now in danger. Chronosphere connecting towards the Spectre, but the Spectre. Oh my God, the Spectre will be able to run towards the bottom, but he goes down, and 2 will fall on the side of Team Thailand, and this should be the third hero going down. Coil will not be enough to save his team here. 3-for-0 exchange in favor of the Thai squad.
They thought they were getting a pickoff here on the TA. It was a very good lift because it's very long, so the TA would not have time to respond. But the thing is, you need to respect the teammates of the TA here. There's still the re-engage capability on the form of the Chronosphere from the Faceless Void. And you can't run away from them because there are chaps in the lane for the TA.
And this is now looking actually dangerous for Team Thailand because just for a moment I thought that the Team Thailand, Team Malaysia will be pushing for high ground. But again, there's the creep block coming in from the side of Team Thailand.
Yeah, they're just cutting the waves here on top just to make sure the Team Malaysia cannot push in the middle lane. But it does provide you the Aegis for Team Malaysia. Now, talking about the items here of the Ogre, he is queuing up something that is supposed to be the biggest power spike that they'll ever get. It's the disable on the Puck and the Spectre. It is the Hex.
And not just any Hex, it is a multicasted Hex.
Exactly. So if he ever gets a 4 times multicast,
maybe a 5 times.
That's 4 heroes disabled on your team. And mind you, they have 2 melee cores. They'll always be in front of the Ogre Magi.
So let's see Ogre. And I like how Team Malaysia is building towards their item, right? They go for multiple Yule Scepter just to counter the Axe Initiation.
Yeah, oh, there you go. The Axe initiates on the Ogre Magi. There's no friends here for the Ogre.
So here comes. Oh, but this is 4 heroes trying to take down the Ogre. I think they should be able to get this kill.
Quite some time. And the
Faceless Void does come here. Faceless Void will try to go in. He'll be able to find one. Pop will be able to blink away.
Yeah,
1-for-1 trade at the end of the day, but that does favor the team from Thailand.
I think that favors Team Malaysia. They have the Chronosphere coming out. They have the Aegis. They can push the tier 2 tower, the tier 3 tower, but they're not going to force the issue. They're going heading straight towards the middle lane.
Templar Assassin applying pressure towards the bottom. The rest of the team moving towards the jungle. They'll be looking for their opportunity to strike here. I think they have spotted this because of the Templar Assassin traps.
Yep. Still a long way for the Spectre to be fully up here for Team Thailand, and you already have a 10,000 gold lead for Team Malaysia. This TA is becoming a huge trouble for Team Thailand. And
Mirana will be able to spot the Spectre.
Oh my God, he uses dagger.
Here comes the Yule Scepter setup. The arrow will fly in, it will connect. Here comes the slow, but will the Spectre be able to run towards the tree line? I think he'll be able to do it, but the vision provided. That's the grip connecting, and that should be the Mirana finishing up that Spectre. That is a very huge kill. Definitely will affect the farm rate of the Spectre there.
Yeah, and again, there is a Chronosphere on the Faceless Void, so they can look to push here for Team Malaysia. There are already lines being drawn here on the minimap. Push top lane and defend middle lane.
If there's one silver lining for Team Thailand here is they do have a Puck on their lineup.
Yeah, they
which is a very good hero in terms of pushing the other lane, cutting the creep wave on towards the other lane, especially equipped with the dagger and a boost of travel. He is a very mobile hero in this game.
You know, you have a huge problem once the Ogre Magi farms even better compared to the Faceless Void. He is 2,000 gold richer than the carry of Team Malaysia. Lift on the TA just to make sure that they delay the push for the Spectre to be up.
They'll be able to defend this simply because they have a Keeper of the Light on their side. They have the Blinding Light as well. So they'll be able to clear the creep wave a lot more safely.
You know, that push didn't end well for Team Malaysia. They can definitely dive the heroes of Team Thailand here. The Spectre is still respawning 15 seconds. They can definitely use that to kill the Keeper of the Light.
Spectre just 14k in its network. Templar Assassin a full 4k ahead of the Spectre here.
Yeah. The Sphere is going to be the item choice here for the Puck over the Yule Scepter or the Aghanim Scepter. Mirana will provide a vision on this axe, leap into Yule's, and this is a dead
the
axe.
Arrow, and this axe will fall and should fall. Obvious call, obvious blade name, but it won't be enough for him to be able to take out someone
No
from
damage
the
taken.
side of Team Malaysia.
No damage taken here for the TA. And really, Team Thailand, they're looking for something out of the map here, but it's being controlled by Team Malaysia. All three lanes are being shoved in to the side of Team Thailand.
Here
Starting
comes
the
the grid as well, and this is
That
your
is the Spectre.
Spectre. He's about to die. Here comes the Flicker, trying
Oh,
to
it
save
flips
it,
the bait.
trying to bite. And the Spectre will fall 60 seconds out. Is the Spectre. He do have his buyback, but this is a very difficult time for them. Fortification will be used, trying to delay the push, but it will just delay the inevitable. This tier 3 should fall.
Puck is looking to cut the next creep wave, but the arrow is preventing him from jumping towards the back line. They're zoning him so hard, and look at the push here come out from Team Malaysia. They don't really care about the heroes of Team Thailand. You don't have the Spectre. You can't fight right now.
Axe, he doesn't have BKB, so he will be easily countered, and that is the full wave going in favor of Team Malaysia as they clear the upper Radiant set of Raxes there.
And they take the shrine here just to control the triangle camp of Team Thailand. Aegis has been reclaimed by Roshan though, so it is something that Team Thailand can make something out of. But the Spectre is still in recovery mode. There you go, the
Ogre
Hex.
completing the Hex now. And this is just Team Malaysia getting everything that they can from that trip towards that upper lane, taking the tier 3, the set of racks, the shrine as well, and they have total control of this upper part of the Radiant jungle.
You know this TA, it's looking like an alchemist. He just bought the NKB, and right now he has 5,000 gold
Going
in his
for
back.
his last
Oh
item.
my
and
god.
Here comes the Miranda trying to chase down the puck.
Even the TA is getting a Hex of his own, just to make sure that they have the disables needed to take down the heroes of Team Thailand. Under the BKB, the protection of BKB, the Keeper of the Light doesn't even matter to the TA.
Manta style at this point shouldn't mean anything.
Yeah.
That is a very, very late Manta style
Yeah.
for your Spectre in
Again,
the
there-
side of Thailand.
There are a lot of ways for Team Malaysia to disable the heroes of Team Thailand. The Team
Spectre.
Script, the Fire Blast, and the Hexes that can come out from Team Malaysia.
Almost getting caught as the
Ooh.
Spectre here.
You don't have the scan, so they don't know where the Spectre is. The arrow will not clip. Oh, they actually see
Yeah, they have
the
seen
Spectre.
Spectre. Glimpse of him, but how come the Spectre didn't use any TP? Moonlight Shadow? No, he won't be able to
Bashes.
survive.
Yeah, the bashes. The Faces Void got very lucky. Puck is looking to got the next creep wave already just to prevent the push that can come out from Team Malaysia on the bottom lane. But there's no, there's no timing for this team. They're just waiting for the next Roche for the TA.
Spectre, this is a sad day for that Spectre.
Wait, what?
He's
The
trying-
puck is inside the base of Team Malaysia. Arrow. Oh my god, it connects. No TP for you. You can, yes, you can blink out. You can use your Illusory Orb, but you can't be there for you to defend your base. The Spectre is gonna be up in 35 seconds, but the lines are already being drawn here by Team Malaysia. There's
at-
no puck here on
Look
the
at
bottom
the
lane.
item, at the Templar Assassin. This is already an end game. Templar Assassin, 32 minutes in.
Never mind. He has a BK. He has a boots of travel. Never mind. Puck is safe. Puck is safe.
So let's see. Here comes the Ogre. The tanky one trying to force the issue, but they don't have any creep wave here.
Yeah, it's coming though. But the Spectre will be up for the defense here against Team Malaysia. Hex is already finished on this TA.
So a lot of disable on the side of Team Malaysia. Will they be able to find the opening? Axe jumping in, but immediate
Oh, the
use
use.
counter. Here comes the telekinesis. On
Rip.
towards the Templar Assassin. Here comes the Sheep Stick. So the Axe will be able to
Look at the
walk
Ogre.
away.
Look at the Ogre just manning up, walking on the high ground of Team Thailand. Come, hit me.
But Team Malaysia not forcing the issue. This puck continuing to be very annoying for Team Malaysia
Yeah.
as he continue to cut the creep wave. This Spectre just trying to farm desperately, just going out of the base once again, risking himself of dying. But here comes the Will-O-Wisp. They have found the Axe. Oh, no,
the
it's
Face
actually
Boy,
the
yeah.
Faceless Boy going down.
Oh,
So that is a very good kill going in favor. Another Axe call here. And this time, this is the Ogre.
careful of the Hex, be
Getting
careful of the
calls. Oh my god, takes him the Yule Scepter. Trying to buy some time. Here
Oh,
comes the Hex. But it didn't multicast it, so that's
did,
just
it
a
did.
single Hex.
It's on the Spectre and the Axe. Unfortunately, the TA doesn't want to help.
And that is 2 force going down on the side of Team Malaysia. This will give time for Team Thailand to actually get some item towards their Spectre, towards their pack, and towards their team.
This is really good because the thing about Hawk cutting the creep waves, it prevents Spectre from farming. So if you think that the Hawk delaying the push of Team Malaysia is good for them, it's actually bad because the Spectre is not getting any farm. With that kill, after getting the kill on the Ogre Magi and Freezes Void, now the puck can stay inside the base and the Spectre can definitely go out and push the waves.
You're right. Heart should be the next item here for the Spectre. What do you think about this item, guys?
It's to tank up against the TA. It does the same thing as the Skadi, but it does provide you more tankiness and more HP regeneration during the speed fight.
Axe going for the goal. They have seen this Bane Elemental and this Bane should go down. Another goal is here. Will they be able to find that Calling Blade? Yes, they will. So another hero going down on the side of Team Malaysia. And now the Axe will be able to complete his BKB. This should solve a lot of problem, a lot of issue on their side. Because this time, they will be able to take full control of an enemy hero if they be able to catch him off guard with that call.
Now the control on Team Malaysia is slipping away from their hands. What used to be an 18k gold lead is
at
now
least a
down
20k now, down to a
14K.
14k.
Yeah, and the Spectre is definitely catching up. Ward currently at the net ward, but the thing is, it is a Spectre.
I have a question regarding the interaction of the Keeper of the Light skill towards that Axe. Will that give him double call?
Oh yeah.
The Chakra Magic.
It's a double call.
So that is at least 8 seconds of control, right? If they will be able to find the opening.
And by the way, to add a layer to the insult, hold that thought. They see the puck. The Hex is there for the TA. The grip and the puck should die here. As they get the kill, 427 gold only going to the Mirana, but it allows Team Thailand to threaten Roche.
No, I don't think they will have enough time to take down that
Roche,
and they are just clearing the vision and hope that Team Malaysia won't go towards their direction. But being able to take down that puck is actually a very big thing for Team Malaysia. At least they will be able to apply pressure on multiple lanes without the puck being able to push them out.
We're gonna see here Team Malaysia heading straight inside the Roach pit. Oh, the Hex come out from the TA.
Here comes the call. Will they be able to finish? No, but the Axe, he didn't use his BKB. And here comes the BKB, but that's just a defensive BKB. Rubik with the buyback as well. Back with a buyback. They are hoping to stop this Roshan take.
Now Axe has no BKB, and Team Malaysia, they're definitely confident in finishing up this Roche. There's no Will-O-Wisp from the Keeper of the Light. There's no BKB from the Axe. It's just the Dream Coil and the Spectre Hawk. But you can definitely deal with that as the Hex refreshes its cooldown.
And now it's an Aegis cheese advantage going in favor of the Dire. 37 minutes in. Definitely they have everything to finish this game.
I was about to say that there's one interesting interaction with the Axe and the Keeper of the Light. Even if you use Blinding Light on a TA, if Axe ever gets the jump on her, even if she misses the passive procs, it's the attack animation that causes the counter healings. So even if the TA misses her right-click damage, it procs the counter healings.
Okay, so let's see. Mid lane pressure being applied by Team Malaysia. They are going for this tier 2 tower and they are hitting hard. Fortification will be used to delay this push, but it will just delay this tier 3 tower. But the Axe getting the call. He popped the BKB. They want to go in. The sword. Here comes the sleep. The Spectre Hunt and the Keeper. The Faceless Void will be able to time walk out. And that is just the majority of their ultimate being used without achieving anything.
Yeah, they've used everything against Team Malaysia. Now this TA only needs to regenerate. And she can die here, by the way. She has an Aegis.
Yes.
And you need to be careful.
At the moment, this TA is an immortal one.
Yeah, you need to be careful with the blink.
Hex connecting on two.
Look at Axe standing way behind. The call is
there. Managed to take
Chronosphere.
out, but the Chronosphere connecting towards the Rubik. But they're not dishing enough damage towards the core. Faceless Void though, popping his BKB. So is the Templar Assassin. Axe is forced to use the buyback. The Spectre fighting toe-to-toe.
Oh, the grip on the puck!
Oh my God, the puck
a
goes
dieback.
down and that's a dieback. Miranda leaping in immediately and this puck should be out for almost 2
The
minutes.
Hex once
Another
again.
Hex follow-up. Here comes the boy jumping in. Axe will try to save, but a lot of damage. Templar Assassin is here. He will be able to take
No
down the
buyback
Spectre.
on the Spectre.
No buyback as well, and this should be GG in favor of Team Malaysia. But Thailand not calling it yet, despite losing 3 heroes without buyback, and Team Malaysia will finish this game. They are heading towards the tier 4 towers. Nothing to stop them. Only the Axe, only the Keeper.
We saw the save come out from Bane. With the call from the Axe, it was very beautiful placed. But the Nightmare does cancel out the aggression from Team Thailand, and it provides them the victory here for Team Malaysia. Very well executed game, and it is the victorious team, Team Malaysia.
Team Malaysia indeed taking this game, advancing to the next round. They will be facing the winner of Philippines versus Indonesia on our next series.
They played very well. They understood their timings. They knew how to deal with the puck, and they just waited it out. The problem with the Spectre is that he was facing against two cores that can take them down. One is the Chronosphere from the Faceless Void, and number 2 is the Hex that came out from the TA.
It also goes down to the item selection of Team Malaysia. They go for immediate Dual Scepter just to counter the Axe. Even before the Axe got the Blade Mail, there's already 2 Dual Scepter on the side of Team Malaysia, which minimize the effect of that Axe Blink call into a Blade Mail.
You made a very good point. The main power spike that they will ever get in the mid game was the Axe getting the Blink Dagger, and it was immediately cancelled out by the Yule Scepters of Team Malaysia, and it allowed them to play into the late game, wherein supposed to be the Spectre is the monster, but he never got to that point.
And another fact there is, of course, the Templar Assassin being unstoppable right out of the gates. 32 minutes in already on the late game form with 5 complete items already. How can you stop a Templar Assassin like that?
Yeah, it was the last pick, and you can't expect for them to have a very good answer against that. The Spectre and a TA, it's a bad matchup after all, and it all boiled down to the draft execution of Team Malaysia. And again, it allowed them to secure the victory here.
Not just the Templar Assassin, but the Faceless Void as well. We've seen on-point Chrono taking down those key heroes. The Puck, he did a great job of cutting down the creep wave, but what can he do? He's just a Puck.
Yeah, and Team Malaysia, after that victory, they will be advancing to the next round. They will face the winner of Team Philippines versus, I don't know
which will be coming up next.
They're facing up against
Indonesia.
Oh, Indonesia. So that will be the next matchup, the next affair here. Whoever wins on that specific matchup will face Team Malaysia. Definitely congratulations for the victorious team. But for now, we are going to be heading for a short break as we have concluded the first game of our series.
Teknologi. Nickname gua di game dulu, Pak. Esports Indonesia berkembang banget dan prospek kerjanya banyak juga dari analis, caster, pro player. Jadi gua sangat berharap besar di Esports Indonesia. Faktor penting dalam sebuah tim yang pastinya kerjasama sih, dan kita harus saling mengenal satu sama lain dalam tim, karena tim building itu nggak bisa dibangun dalam tim aja, harus dalam teamwork. Buat teman-teman pejuang e-sport yang lain, jangan cepat menyerah, jangan cepat puas dengan hasil yang kalian dapat, soalnya kita nggak bakal tahu apa yang akan terjadi ke depan. Mungkin saja ntar kalian salah satu yang bakal wakil Indonesia di ajang internasional. Pokoknya semangat terus, salam e-sport.
You knew it wouldn't be easy. They didn't give you a chance. Underestimated you at every step. But the journey wasn't alone. We are resilient. We fight together. We win as one.
Beijing Rendido. Beijing Rendido. Please come to the production. Thank you.
between Thailand and Malaysia. I definitely love seeing both teams really wanting to win as much as possible. But of course, Malaysia was the one who emerged victorious. So once again, a big congratulations to Team Malaysia for winning that one. Now, I know you guys are still looking for more Dota 2 action. So let's move on to our second match for Dota 2. We welcome our players. We have Team Philippines. And of course, Team Philippines will be playing against Team Malaysia. Okay, players, you may now shake hands and take your seats. Okay, so once our players are starting to get ready, I'm really curious to hear what our casters think about this exciting matchup. So Duno and Midnight, over to you guys.
It is indeed a very intense series, and we are not short of that as we have on our hands the match between Team Philippines versus Team Malaysia. Philippines being victorious over the first series, now they're up against Team Malaysia. Once again, you're back. We are your shotcasters. My name is Midnight.
And I'm Duno. I thought you were gonna introduce me, but let's get to the job at hand. This is the home team, Philippines versus Team Indonesia.
Malaysia.
Malaysia?
Yeah, Malaysia. Team Malaysia.
Team Malaysia?
Yes.
Okay.
So, without any bias.
Without any bias.
First of all, who do you pick here as the victorious team?
This should be a difficult decision for me, but I'm going with Philippines.
That's
With all
without
my
bias.
heart.
Okay, that's without bias. Why do you say that?
As we have talked about earlier, Team Philippines, their players are all from the same organization. They've been playing for quite some time now. I think chemistry shouldn't be an issue for them. And compared to the other teams that are participating in this test run, as we all know, the other teams, they are from different esports organizations, right? On their home country, and they are just they have just been put together for this SEA Games.
Yeah, so you're saying that Team Philippines is more of a team or a single unit compared to Team Malaysia here. That definitely is a huge factor for the Team Philippines, knowing that they already know what each other likes and what they don't like. So that's already one step ahead over Team Malaysia. Now, talking about in-game stuff, drafting. Who do you think is, who do you think has the upper hand when it comes to drafting?
I think Team Philippines should also have that the advantage in terms of the drafting, because they are used to playing different kind of heroes. They have a very diverse hero pool. When it comes to their picking, they can play different heroes. An orthodox hero, they can run an orthodox lineup as well. And in terms of their communication in game and the trust on their natural leader, which is Boombox, I think they'll have a much easier time compared to other teams.
Yeah, now we talked about the coaches before, and we have to talk about Team Philippines here. They have one of our experienced coaches here in the Philippines, Pao Bago. He's one of the analysts on Team Fnatic before, so he brings a lot of unique experience, unique draft ideas, and different scenarios for Team Philippines. That definitely boosts the capability of this team, especially as you've mentioned, Boombox's capability as the captain.
But they are up against Team Malaysia as well, which their coach is ADTR, also a former coach for Team Fnatic.
Yeah, that is going to be a very interesting head-to-head matchup. Both similar ideas, both similar history. It all boils down once again to this game, Team Philippines versus Team Malaysia. Talking about Jeff once again, what are the heroes that we should expect for each team?
For me, Team Philippines, as we all know, Boombox and company, they love to play those action pack, especially on the position 4.
Yeah.
They used to run Magnus, Enigma,
Yeah.
those heroes that have big team fight ultimate that can actually turn the game, the
Yeah.
tides of the game around whenever they connect or miss their opportunities.
It's actually quite popular here, right? The Magnus, Pos 5, Pos Force, even the offlane Magnuses. We really like those farming heroes that can fight really early on. So that definitely gives a lot of action here in our game. And talking about the Magnus picks, do you really think that Team Philippines will be comfortable to pick that against Team Malaysia? We've seen how Team Malaysia was able to slaughter the early game during their first series against Team Thailand. Do you really think that is a very good idea against Team Malaysia?
Well,
if we're talking about Team Philippines.
Yeah, if they decided to go for a
Magnus.
yes, because Magnus is one of those heroes that enables their other hero, especially the carry. If you go for a Magnus, you usually go for a Troll Warlord, for a Juggernaut, for
Even the Phantom Assassins.
maybe an Ember Spirit
Yeah.
as well. Those heroes that could actually benefit with that the buff that the Magnus provide, and of course that ever-fearing reverse polarity ultimate
Oh,
that
yeah.
can actually catch the enemy off guard. If ever you hit that a 2-3 man RP on top of a empowered hero, that should spell GG's for the opposing team.
It's one of those spells that you don't even need to use. It's just the looming threat of the spell. If you get a 3-man RP, that's good, but just the mere presence of a Magnus during a team fight,
Yes.
that is really
That-
scary.
That actually won't allow the opposing team to jump on a single hero because, of course, at the back of their head, if we go 3-4 hero on, if we committed 3 or 4 hero on trying to take down the single hero, then the Magnus would have every opportunity to take us down.
Yeah, and our discussions have been for naught as Malaysia has already banned out the Magnus. First ban is there for Team Malaysia now.
Maybe we talk a lot about the Magnus that the Malaysian coach
Yeah.
heard.
They're saying a lot of,
No,
they're
just
saying
kidding.
a lot about Magnus for Team
because
Philippines.
this is actually a very popular hero for actually for Team Philippines, the Magnus.
Yeah.
So Malaysia decided to actually take
Why
it
not,
up.
right? They can hear us talking about the Magnus of Team Philippines, so just banned it out. Philippines have banned out the Morphling, the Kunkka, and the Alchemist. 3 of the most popular heroes for our patch. Malaysia has banned out the remaining popular hero, the Night Stalker.
So we are looking at a first pick, Team Malaysia, right?
No, first pick is Team Philippines.
First pick, Team.
I think we're looking at the battle of
10
Keeper of the Lights here,
seconds
or
remaining.
even the Chen. Because I think both teams does favor the Chen a
5
lot.
seconds remaining.
So again, one very good info about Team Philippines is majority of them are all from the Visayas region. Of course, they most of them represented Cebu a lot of time, especially playing under the banner of the local team there, which is Arcanes. Of course, we know Bok, we know Marvin. They are all the old boys.
Yeah,
from
they're the
Cebu.
veterans of the Philippine Dota 2 scene. First pick is going to be the Keeper of the Light for
10
Team
seconds
Philippines. Now we're going to see the duo pick for Team Malaysia here. We might expect an Ogre or a Mirana again.
They
There you
go
go.
for the Mirana, of course.
Is this the same opener? No, it is a different opener. It is a Mirana alongside the Faceless
Faceless
Void.
Void.
Faceless Void has come out as the same slot as it had on the previous game, but the Mirana will be the first priority here for Team Malaysia.
So Malaysia running a strategy, don't fix what's not broken, and it actually resulted in a victory when they picked the Mirana
Yeah.
and the Faceless Void. But this time, Philippines not wasting any time, going for a Naga Siren
Yep.
as their second pick here. Of course, Naga is one of those heroes that can actually take over the game during the late game, especially
10
in the early.
seconds remaining.
You always have that Song of the Siren for disengagement.
Yeah.
Whenever you're
5
in a
seconds
dire
remaining.
situation, you can always pop that, TP out, and reset the game.
Yeah.
Dire
And
team
it's one of the
back.
it's one of the better carry matchups against Faceless Voids. Faceless Void. The thing about this matchup is that Faceless Void cannot do anything against the Naga Siren. The song negates the Chronosphere, and you can't walk away because of the net. Do take note that during the previous game, Malaysia has banned out the Naga Siren after picking out the Faceless Void.
So Legion Commander is out.
10
He is the
seconds
fourth
remaining.
ban here for Team Philippines.
I think we might see an Abaddon ban as
5
well from
seconds
Team
remaining.
Philippines. It just prevents Malaysia from having the save on the Faceless Void, just to make sure that he can time walk away from the Naga Siren. But that option is not going to be available for them as the Legion Commander has been thrown out of the game.
Mirana, Boyd, Naga, and Keeper of the Light, current hero that will be playing in the field. I'm looking at the potential mid laners for both teams here.
I think OD is still up there for Team Philippines. Really good against Faceless Void. And even though there's a Mirana on the table here for Team Malaysia, you can be safe. You can be safe with a Keeper of the Light alongside on your team, because if you get arrowed here on the OD, there is a safe potential for the team fight on Team Philippines with the Will-O-Wisp of the Keeper of the Light.
This might sound crazy, but is there a potential of Philippines going for a position for Disruptor? Because it's synergized well with the Naga Siren, right?
Yeah, it used to be one of the most popular combos in Dota, the Naga Siren and the Disruptor, the song, the sleep into the kinetic field plus Static Storm. That is a very, very scary combination.
And it is actually very good against the Faceless Void as well, because it actually negates the... it's actually disabled the time walk from the Faceless Void.
Yeah, it punishes the Faceless Void during the Chronosphere, because what you can do is after he lands the Chronosphere, just use the Kinetic Field and the Static Storm just to make sure that he doesn't get out of the Chronosphere. At the same time, he can't do anything inside the Chronosphere.
Even on chasing down the Void. Void is one of those heroes that can actually get out of trouble with the use of time walk, right? With the glimpse, you can actually catch the Faceless Void a lot of times, especially if the BKB is not yet built towards that Faceless Void.
Looking at the bans of Team Malaysia here, they know that the OD is very scary on the hands of Team Philippines, and the problem that they ran during the previous game, the puck controlled so much of their team, now they remove it from the game.
So Malaysia, what will be the mid lane hero here for Team Malaysia? What are those heroes that are actually good on dealing up with the Naga Siren illusions?
I think you need to relegate that role to the mid lane. Konka is one, but it's already been banned out by Philippines. Hawk as well, but they themselves banned it out.
Naga.
Well, Legion Commander was one, but Philippines banned it out as well.
I'm actually thinking of a good counter to a Naga Siren for Team Malaysia here.
I think at this moment you just you just pick an Abaddon or an Oracle just to have a save on this Faceless Void. It is going to be a Shadow Demon. That's one way to deal with the illusions of the Naga Siren. You can copy the illusions and you can farm for yourself. So Shadow Demon will have a better time this game, and the Demonic Purge can be very helpful against Team Philippines. But Treant Protector is going to come out for them.
Protector. So this should be a position for Treant Protector here. So we won't be seeing maybe.
I think they're threatening a Slardar here for Team Philippines. But it's bad against Shadow Demon.
I'm thinking maybe they are planning on playing a position 3 Treant Protector.
It can be, but I think the idea for Team Philippines here is they can play aggressively on the off-lane side of the map, because you have the Naga Siren. Once he gets level 5, you can leave him alone in his safe lane. Once he goes to the jungle, the Keeper of the Light can take over the lane. Now, Malaysia have picked themselves up the Doom Bringer.
So, Doom, Void, Mirana, and Shadow Demon for Team Malaysia. They are lacking of a mid lane presence here. But Doom is one of those heroes, especially if you plan on trying to go for an engagement, especially if you want to initiate on towards the Naga Siren. Doom actually disable that very strong spell from the Naga, which is the Song of the Siren. It can actually give time for you to take him down before he even have that chance to pop that sleep.
Yeah, it's a very good answer against the Keeper of the Light and the Naga Siren, because you just need to cancel one out. And I think the highest priority here is the Naga Siren. But looking at the lanes, Malaysia, they don't have any answers to the Naga Siren yet. Yes, you have the Shadow Demon in Doom against the Naga Siren. Doom has no armor at the start of the game. They can definitely punish this one out for Team Philippines, and they pick up the Monkey King.
So Monkey King,
I really like this choice. It's a fighting hero. It's a fighting
mid lane.
So what should
be the lane here if you're running a Monkey and a Naga Siren at the same time?
I think it's a mid lane Monkey King already. They don't have last pick, so Malaysia should always get the upper hand in terms of mid lane matchup. So Team Philippines, they just needed a fighting mid laner. They could have opted for a Gyrocopter, but it's much a greedier option compared to the Monkey King.
Maybe the Philippines is trying to play a 2-1-2 setup here, because Definitely, Doombringer will be punished by the Monkey King, right? If the Monkey King lane against the Doombringer, I think the Monkey King should have the advantage on towards that lane, if just by having at least the Thread Protector on his side.
The reason why I like Monkey King for Team Philippines is because of the fact that Malaysia, they have a Doombringer that can play on the off lane and can play in the mid lane as well. But neither lanes are winnable for Team Malaysia. Monkey King destroys Doom, and Naga Siren destroys the Doom as well.
Even the Void will suffer here,
Yeah.
if ever he decided to lane against the MK or the Naga Siren.
Yeah.
He will for sure have a hard time on laning against those two here. It all goes down to which support is relegated
10
to who.
seconds remaining.
Invoker ban from Team Malaysia. So they're expecting that the Chariot is position 3. And I think this is a mid lane Monkey King, considering that they banned out the Queen of Pain. It's a losing matchup for the Monkey King. An off lane for Team Philippines that destroys Faceless Void. I think you just straight up pick up the Centaur Water Runner here.
I think the Philippines should pick a flexible hero that can actually go mid as well.
10 seconds
Because
remaining.
Malaysia will have the last pick, right? If they go for a hard counter
5
on the
seconds
obvious mid lane
remaining.
hero, the Philippines will have a very difficult time. They could actually switch up the lane with the heroes that they have. So I'm looking for some. I think the Thread should play the Pospor role.
Yeah, he should. And I think Sand King is still up there for Team Philippines. Sand King, Bristleback, even the Brewmaster is up. Centaur Warrunner is what comes to mind when it comes to team fights, because if you think about how Philippines initiate fights, it's either the Song or the Will-O-Wisp, but they can't use that against Team Malaysia. Oh, it is going to be an offlane Abaddon. It's good against Faceless Void. He wins the matchup against Faceless Void.
A lot of sustainability as well on the side of Philippines for their lineup. They have a Treant, they have a Abaddon as well.
Yep, and it's the Dispel that they're looking for against the Arrow of the Mirana.
They have also good spell on holding on towards the enemy whenever they deploy the Monkey King ultimate, right? It's actually a Lina mid lane now.
This is a nice pick for Team Malaysia. It will definitely have a better time against the Monkey King. And Team Philippines, they have no real threat against Lina here. And I really like both drafts. But the problem lies on the safe lane of, on the off lane of Team Malaysia. The Naga Siren will get a lot on that specific lane because he does win the matchup against the Doombringer. And to add to that, the Abaddon against the Faceless Void, it's not a good matchup for the Void.
In a perfect world where everyone gets the item that they desire, I'll favor the Philippines on taking the game. Simply because of the Naga Siren pick. You can always go for a very, very easy setup whenever you catch the enemy with that Naga Siren song. You can hold them down with the Trend Protector ultimate as well, plus the Monkey King's Wukong's command. You'll be able to dish out a lot of physical and magical damage onto the side of Malaysia. But Malaysia, they do have a save. They do have that Faceless Void. They do have that Shadow Demon that can actually disrupt the flow of skills whenever the Philippines try to go for a single target hero.
Yeah, again, both drafts are really good. It's just that there is one draft that will, of course, definitely have the upper advantage. And I really like Team Philippines' chances here. But again, it all boils down to the execution, ladies and gentlemen. Again, the fight is between Team Philippines versus Team Malaysia. On the Radiant side, we have Philippines Boomy on Treant Protector Mac as the Monkey King Bok. On the Abaddon, CML as a Keeper of the Light, and Natsumi on the Naga Siren.
On the side of the Dire, it's Team Malaysia, Helmi on the Mirana, Risken on your Faceless Void, Bakri on your Shadow Demon, Denise on the Lina, and Naufa will be using the Doombringer here.
So it is a classic 2-1-2 lane setup for both teams. Doombringer and Shadow Demon will be heading towards the bottom lane against the Naga Siren, but they're not going to be able to punish him as much as they want, because again, the Naga Siren has an advantage against the Doom, but definitely the Shadow Demon will give him a much harder time. Oh, he's actually on the top lane.
So let's see what will be the final laning for these two teams. They're just trying to play mind games against each other here. Both teams will just try to secure the 0-minute bounty rune here. This should be an even split for both teams, not unless there's some sort of shenanigans that will be coming for both teams here.
I think Team Philippines can take at least 3,
yeah,
because there's a Keeper of the Light on this top lane.
And I think
Ooh, okay. He snatches it away from 3 heroes. Very fast fingers here on the Doombringer. And of course, CML gets the bounty on top lane because of the blinding light that pushes away the heroes of Team Malaysia.
So it's a 3-for-1 in favor of Team Philippines, right?
Yeah.
So let's see the laning phase here. Abaddon delegated towards his top lane along with the Keeper of the Light. Their mission just to make life harder for this faceless boy. They can always go for this kind of harassment because they can actually afford to trade with the help of the Apodic Shield. But they need to be careful against the Shadow Demon. A lot of Shadow Demon poison stock towards this Keeper of the Light, and this should be a third one. But I don't think it will be enough to take down the Keeper of the Light. Abaddon popping another Apodic Shield here, continuing to dish out harassment, and this should be a 4 charge. This could be actually be the first blood here, as Faceless Boy will try to go for the play, but the salve will be popped. Almost a first blood trade going in favor of both teams here.
20 HP left with the salve that the Shadow Demon used. Definitely worth it here for him, but CML is already on a pursuit. He knows that the Shadow Demon cannot help the Faceless Void. He's just making sure that the Abaddon and Faceless Void is 1v1 on this lane.
And here comes the pull coming in from the Shadow Demon. He actually, once again, there's a 3-stack of the Shadow Poison towards this Keeper of the Light, and once again, he needs to be careful. Mirana and Doombringer up against this Naga Siren and Thread Protector towards his bottom lane. This lane should be more passive, not unless Mirana will be able to connect towards the long-range arrow, which will give them opportunity to kill. Actually, they have a very good killing skill on this Malaysian bottom lane. They have, of course, the Infernal Blade from the Doombringer, which is also stunned, and of course, the arrow.
Yeah, but do take note, it's dispelled though by the illusions of the Naga Siren. So this is getting really scary for Team Malaysia. The top lane, the the Faceless Void is trading levels against the Abaddon, but the Abaddon is already on his way to his 3rd level. The Keeper of the Light didn't leech any form of XP whatsoever. He just punished the Shadow Demon staying on that lane.
The mid lane matchup is actually quite even. 9-2 at the moment for the Monkey King. 10-6 for your 10-0 actually for your Lina. So both mid lanes just getting their fair share of CS there in the mid lane. But Faceless Boy trying to go for a chase towards the Keeper of the Light, and trading quite well. Of course, he will always have that time walk to replenish his life.
Once the Abaddon gets free, though, it gets harder for the Faceless Void. So he's just maximizing the window wherein he can harass the Abaddon and the Keeper of the Light.
As you can see on the left side of your screen, it is actually 3 of the top CS heroes here. And the first one going in favor of Adroit. They've managed to take down the Shadow Demon there, which is a very good advantage going in favor of Team Philippines early in the game.
And Lina in the middle lane is applying pressure on this Monkey King. But that should be addressed sooner enough once the Naga Siren and Abaddon gets their 3rd level. As both supports can actually leave the side lanes.
Connecting, so a lot of harassment also coming from the Lina, but he won't be able to take down the Monkey King at the moment. Naga, Monkey King, and the Abaddon leading hero in terms of overall CES, definitely, and should be in the lead as well in terms of overall network.
Look at the middle lane, there's a gank already coming out from the Mirana. That's going to be a kill here
but
on
the Monkey King going down, and that the Mirana might maybe finding the arrow, I don't know, but definitely a kill in favor of Team Malaysia.
They were actually the first ones to rotate their support, considering that, well, that is a Mirana that can roam around freely in the specific lane, but the lane of the Doom gets harder once he leaves.
Knowing that the Mirana is not on that bottom lane, immediately going for the harassment is Team Philippines, but now Mirana roaming around, sitting at level 3. He do have 1 point on Starstorm, 1 point on that arrow, and he will be looking for another gank attempt, maybe back at the mid lane again.
Yeah, it's quite understandable that he is going to be focusing on the middle lane because he does nothing. He does zero, really, he does nothing on this lane. He is up against a Naga Siren. If the arrow hits, they can't kill him.
So Abaddon sitting at level 4. Here's the Shadow Demon. Arrow will fly, and this should be the perfect one, and it is connected towards the Abaddon. He do have his Apothic Shield though. No, he will be able to pop
Going for the
one,
suicide.
but here is the blinding light pushing them away, and it is the Abaddon walking out of that top lane safe and sound.
The trust on his teammates. He could have definitely suicided there, but he knew that with the blinding light, he will be safe on the top lane. Now, in the bottom lane, there is a boundary rune being contested here by the Doom. Doesn't get the boundary rune away from the Treant Protector. But the Mirana was able to snatch away the bounty from Team Philippines.
So again, a 2-2, a rune split at the 5-minute mark here. But the Naga Siren 31-2 at the moment, 29-4 for the Abaddon, 28-2 for the Monkey King, just 24-8 for the Lina. Definitely the CS department in favor of the Philippine team.
Yeah, Arrow
flying once again, connecting once again. Will now they be able to find the skill? Starstorm will connect. Apothic Shield won't be enough for the Abaddon to survive, and Malaysia will be able to find their second kill of the game.
Yep, Monkey King just continuing to farm, knowing that lane presence, the lane pressure is on the top lane. He just needs to make sure that he gets his levels and farm up for the mid game so that he can fight for the Naga
It's
side.
actually very difficult for him to stay at the mid lane simply because he is up against the Lina. He is currently level 6. The Lina for sure is sitting at the level 6.
They didn't expect the gank from the Treant Protector on the top lane. That Sentry Ward is quite late.
Yeah, but they
Tekken 7.
Of course, going to be able to wall carry just like
Psycho. Oh, it's gonna be
Psycho.
Indonesia. Okay, players, it's now time to shake hands and prepare for your match. Now, while both teams are preparing, and it's sure to be an exciting match. So now let's go on to our casters for Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, Manjin, and Shinbu. What do you guys have for us?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 30 Games Test Event for Esports. My name is Shinbu with a 1 for an I.
And I'm Manjin, and we
are
the
the
Manjin Boo Tandem.
for the first time ever.
For the first time
ever.
in forever.
forever.
This is it. After 29 years of the Southeast Asian Games, finally, we are recognizing esports as a medal event.
And of course, what time to be alive today, especially when Southeast Asian Games will be happening in our country.
Yes.
That is the time that we got esports as well for the SEA Games.
Welcome to the Phil Oil Flying V, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first showcase of the greatest, the best, and the most phenomenal game of all time. With Mobile Legends.
Bang Bang. Ladies and gentlemen, the
Bang.
most popular mobile game in Southeast Asia, especially here in our country, especially here in the Philippines. Very much awaited for the Southeast Asian Games.
Very much awaited. In the span of a year, we've seen a lot of storylines, a lot of historic games. But right now, we are in the Philippines for Philippines versus Indonesia.
Yes.
So we do have Sibol, ladies and gentlemen, as our representatives.
As our representatives, of course, you got Indonesia, our Indonesian guests as well, playing it, and of course the whole Mobile Legends fan, not just the country, not just the Philippines, but also the whole of Southeast Asia recognizes both Philippines and Indonesia as the strongest country.
Very big
countries when it comes to Mobile Legends.
Yes, of course, this event is presented by Smart
together with Razer, the official esports partner of the 38 SEA Games, and many things, of course, to the Philippine SEA Games organizing community.
We've been organizing this ever since around probably July. We've chosen players. We filtered out players from different different pro teams.
Different pro teams, yes, different pro teams per respective country. Each country has their own qualifiers to be done, and of course, for all of our guests, again, welcome here at the San Juan Arena,
Yes.
where the esports matches will take place for the Southeast Asian Games.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just a brief, again, a brief history about our team, which is actually Cebol.
The Cebol,
yeah,
the Philippine representative.
These players, if I'm not mistaken, 7 representatives for the Philippines, been filtered out by our 2 coaches, which is actually Tail and of course Coach Panda from different organizations as well. So esports right now, this is it. What a way to actually end the decade. Sir Shinbu.
Yes, of course, considering that we are already on the last quarter of our year and we're about to greet actually the year 2020. I also would like to emphasize Team Indonesia here.
Yeah.
Indonesia has claimed the title, the championship title, recently in the first half of our year. The Mobile Legends Southeast Asian Championship actually returned to Indonesia. These two countries has a lot of history when it comes to Mobile Legends. Both has taken a Southeast Asian Championship
for the game.
Inside their rival country. Philippines became the champion for the Southeast Asia in Indonesia. Whereas Indonesia became champion for Southeast Asia while in the Philippines. Here in the Philippines.
That was around June, ladies and gentlemen. And right now we are witnessing champions versus champions. So let's see here. I mean, for the side of the Philippines, we have Few, Hayes, Doc Ribo, Carl Tizzy, and Lusty. Yep, but meanwhile, I'm still not sure actually for the players of Indonesia, but we will know them later on.
Yes.
Later on.
Actually,
Again, 2 giants for the world of ML, man.
I think I saw one player coming in from Onyx Indonesia.
Onyx Indonesia?
I saw one player from Onyx Indonesia, the one who plays a lot of Joe.
From,
Indonesia,
let's see.
That's the young kid there. But let's see once they settled into the game, once they logged into the game, and we get our game, and we get the match started already, especially with their names up on the screen. Right?
Yeah, we shall witness great ML matchups as both of these guys are setting up the meta strategies for the game itself. Kids nowadays, like if they watch the game, if they will learn. They learn something from these guys. I mean, we have the Cho, the Cushion, and every meta there is. Sir Shinbu,
Yes, there's no better time to actually learn something about Mobile Legends, but it's right now. No? It's by watching these matches, by watching the benefits per smile from the player coming in from Onyx Indonesia. I think I saw one as well from the Louvre organization. Louvre organization. And again, I would like to send a big shout out, of course, to all audiences who are watching live here at the San Juan Arena, also on our respective broadcasts of this test event.
This is the upper bracket finals for our game, best of 3, game number 1. Philippines will go to the blue side and Indonesia for the red side. We do have Badeg, Omni-Kaom, Psycho. Oh, it's gonna be Psycho, right? Psycho, Ukok, and Ura for the representatives of Indonesia.
So we get 4 members from EVOS Indonesia here. I think EVOS Indonesia was the recent champion
for the latest tournament.
For the latest biggest tournament of Mobile Legends in Indonesia. Psycho being I think one of the best players, fighter players from Onyx Indonesia, which is the running Mobile Legends Southeast Asian champion.
So the matchup right here, as we shall see, will be Carl TZ versus Psycho in the mid lane. So let us now focus in to our picks and bans, as the Cho and the Hylos will be the priority bans for the side of the Philippines. The fast-paced type of gameplay, especially with the Glorious Pathways connection with the Cho Shunpo, apparently.
Despite being a test event, ladies and gentlemen, the bans here observing are very, very serious. Falls heavily into the running meta. We might be seeing a Kufra open up, but there we go. There's the ban. I think this tanks, we actually fall back to the running meta of having tanks to be emphasized in the game. Last time, the meta was about healers. It was about healers. But still, the running meta can still fall back to that.
Yeah, actually, the sustain game is quite the meta right now, especially if you have the pseudo types heroes. Like for example, the fighter tanks, Terizla, Xborg, Tams. Yeah, and we do have fighter mages as well. I mean tank mages as well as Esmeralda is there on the hero pool. Plus, right now, as we've seen with previous games, they are actually running the killer supports.
Killer supports,
Yeah.
yes. Kaja has been going on the rise for popularity right
Yes.
now. It's been off the radar for the nerfs that's been done in by Mobile Legends. And also Esmeralda still up for the party here in the side of Team Philippines as an answer to steal the shield of Indonesia's Harit. And now the Xborg also in the ranks.
Speaking of the Harit, the Team Philippines are hovering. Actually, they locked in the Akai, which is the best answer to the Harit combination.
Yeah.
He's just gonna pop the Hurricane Dance for the Harit, and then Harit can't do anything. But Indonesia going for the massive burst damage for the early game and the late game. They secured their insurance with the Claude.
The incidents with the Claude, that is the late game for the headline, as you mentioned, my partner. Now, we are into the second phase of the ban. Lolita Archer going to be the move here by Team Philippines that signals actually a Lunox pick, a Kimi pick. Whereas for Indonesia, we're still deciding what will be the third ban. Their options would, of course, be a marksman, but it's not going to be a Lunox, not going to be a Kimi, but the Granger, the danger in the early game that is pressed on by this hero.
This is actually a good ban for the side of Indonesia. The only ones left for the Philippines as their marksman will be the carry. But sometimes they go for the Bruno, which is actually one of the best heroes to go to go toe to toe with the Xborg and the Harit. But this is it.
Now they cannot pick the
This
Bruno
is it.
now.
They cannot pick the Bruno now because of the Masha. So they will go for the classic carry through damage. Plus, again, they went for the Tams. They want the side lane. Actually, the Tams is a good answer to the Masha. He can actually sustain the Masha damage because of the lifesteal. So let's see which side laner is best. But for the side of Indonesia, what they need is another support. And here we go. The newest kid on the block.
The one with the wheels in his arms.
The wheels.
Actually, shields.
The shields. The shields. Baksha.
Baksha, man. But gonna be swapping it out for the tag wheel. Let us see. And there we go. Now, I'm just very happy to see the Masha here from Indonesia. It cannot be denied that, of course, as casters, we are very familiar with the running meta here in the Philippines. We've always been curious what is the running meta there from Indonesia. And here in the test event, we got a big reveal here. There is a Masha, limit playable. Of course, we're also playing that. Masha is not a bit foreign here in the Philippines, but I love the Masha. Again, I still think Masha, although carry is still carry, I think Masha still counters carry on the idea of disarming her.
Yeah, the idea of the Baksha is actually go for rotations and go for quick pickups, especially because of the rolling shield. But Team Indonesia, they want the Wombolicious Combolicious clash.
Wombolicious Combo.
The Wombolicious Combolicious
How does that work? The Wombolicious Combolicious.
They will go for the Impulsion and then the Blazing Duet.
So that's the Wombo.
Yeah, that's the Wombo. Plus the Combolicious is the last insanity coming in from the Xborg. So all of the damage is coming in from different places. But the Philippines, still, this is a carry. It is actually the best answer to the Tigreal. So let's see. It's all about the late game.
It's all about the late game. I think it's all about the late game. I think we are eyeing Omnika Home here. I hope I pronounce it. Omnika Home on this Claude, and of course we got Q here. So I think that's the main headlines here for our players. Headline names for our players. We got Higgs here on the Akai, Carl Z on the Esmeralda, Lasty on Kaja, Q for the carry, Kenji on Zams for Team Philippines, blue side.
For Team Indonesia, you have Itel Baji as the Xborg. Ukok will be using the Harit. Omnika Om as the Claude. Aura will be using the Masha, and Psycho
for the tank.
Now, this is actually new, man.
Yeah, this is actually new, but you have to remember that back then when we were casting the games of Psycho under Onyx Indonesia, back then the MSC, Psycho's been very aggressive. It's really, really good on actually making the biggest plays for his team, always on the setup, always there to initiate fights.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of poking coming in here in the top lane. They want to go for the crab coin. Back to Psycho here, Mr. Shinbu. I mean, he is actually a carry player. So if you are a carry player playing a support, your moves are very different because you will go for the aggressive plays, like what you said.
Yeah.
But again, of course,
you're more like an offensive support.
yeah, an offensive support, which is actually quite same as Hayes.
Yes,
As a killer support. So we have here good matchups, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I am actually excited to see what's gonna happen.
Psycho and Hayes, man, I feel like this is just a test event, but imagine this. I'm so excited, but with this, how would this pan out? And we get on collapse here. Kenji gonna be the first blood here. And now they got the ice and on towards Lusty now gone.
Lusty refusing to die, ladies and gentlemen. That is the first blood coming in from Team Indonesia and immediately going for the gargoyle jungle. Plus, they have the turtle control because of Ura cutting the mid lane wave.
Yes, and Ura is this very interesting. Normally they utilize the Masha. Usually utilizes the Masha for an off lane. Just leaving her to farm alone or maybe pressure one lane because of the danger of the split push that is delivered by Masha. But here Masha is joining the early game fights.
The early team fight, and that was massive coming in from Indonesia. Nice pick off. But again, okay, as I say this, Carl TZ. But man, the export with a slitter of health.
Badik was able to escape here. He will be torching back. Now you get Few joining the party here. Psycho knows that they got no more firepower to actually collapse on that one. The mid will be walked away by both teams without anyone dying.
That was very unfortunate for Carl TZ. The shield coming in from the passive here because of export. Gives them the opportunity to survive the potential pick-off. But meanwhile, Ura right now so confident of his skills, just popping in the flicker and the thunderclap for the carry and the Akai to use their ultimates and then just go for the go for the disengage and just pressure all the lane. Team Philippines right now has no control inside their jungle.
Alright, we got here Badik. Last insanity on the face of Kenji. But of course, Kenji is holding on to that counter Inferno ultimate. You got the fight here for the Crab Coin. Of course, Crab Coin lava the passing for the Crab Coin. He got activist counter Inferno falls all into Badik. Badik here will be receiving the slaughter sides. Kanzi gonna be into the front line and Nico will not be touching on Kanzi here. I think this should be the reset for that fight.
Nice rotation coming in from Carl TZ, but again the problem for Team Philippines is the bottom lane. Ura right now having the time of his life in the bottom lane. No one can actually touch him. So for Team Indonesia, they just need to keep the pressure here in the bottom side. They do have Ukok with the extra damage of the Impure Rage. But for Team Philippines, what they need to do is get this top lane and get all the jungle, like for example this one. And give Carl TZ all the buffs. Unfortunately, they do have the turtle control for 9 seconds.
9 seconds, and Ura this time has no flicker to burn, but he still has legs to walk with. The side steps are real. Ankle breaker onto Hayes.
Ankle breaker. Ura with the circus moves, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at that.
Can touch this. He does have the high and dry, emblem, which gives him the opportunity to go for 1v1s. And he doesn't even show it to Team Philippines. He just went in, get the pokes, and then just go back like this.
And look at that. I think they really want to shut that Ura here. They're burning a lot of spell, and they're even using the Starlight, the ultimate of the Esmeralda, just to get onto Ura and forgot all about this turtle that collapse will happen.
I thought that will be the killing spree coming in from the Harriet, ladies and gentlemen. Kenji is just backing away. They want Carl TZ, but Carl TZ was way too deep. That is a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of Team Indonesia.
4-5, ladies and gentlemen, 5-minute marks. Just actually 2K goal lead here in favor of Team Indonesia. This is big for them to start on, and my best guess, it is mainly in the hands of Ukok on this Harry, a 3-0-1, sitting on 3,800 gold.
3,800 gold plus Harry's Calamity Reaper. Here you go, Omnika. This is actually a one perfect Claude game. Just arm of the blade do it. Here we go. They need this shutdown. Nice divine judgment from Lusty. That was actually a good pick-off for the Team Philippines to actually get back in terms of gold in this game.
In this game, we got here Ura dueling up with 2 members. Few was forced to flash out, flicker out, and the problem there is that carry, I think, is heavily countered really by Amasha. Again, the disarm is pretty big on carry, and remember, carry's mechanic is true damage based on percentage health. Masha's health is divided into 3. So it's not really that optimal in getting the true damage down onto the full and actual health of Masha. That's how this Lady Berserker is designed.
That's why Philippines knows this. Philippines knows this. They want to get Ura, but just one flicker away to get out of the fray. 5-5 is the score. 1K goal lead for Team Indonesia. Team Philippines, they do have View. View doesn't have any deaths, so it's still a battle against the carries. But again, the split push coming in from Indonesia is the way to go.
Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, 6-minute mark, 5-5, a bit close on the kill count.
This is just the third turtle of the game.
This is the third turtle of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Masha here, opening around the corner onto the right side on Ura. Well, we get Badek here, getting the torch down. Lusty gonna be going down. And now Ura will be starting on to the turtle. Badek to the front line, getting some third hits. He's not backing up. He's fully utilizing the immortality. A few hits. Oh! Just above the immortality, but the mission is completed for Indonesia.
And what a way to split up the turtle take coming in from Team Indonesia. Team Philippines right now having a hard time on who to target. Are we going to go for the X-Borg, or are we going to go for the Harriet? Plus Harriet even pumping his ultimate just to push out the lane. So here we go. If you're gonna look at the minimap right now, Nika is just going in for the jungle side, pop the blazing druid, and then BMI out later. But why would he go for the BMI out?
Yeah, how would he go for the BMI out? There's Kenji is trying to be tanky, but of course not enough to really extend the damage there for Omnika. The BMI is actually on cooldown, but Kelsey didn't commit to go for the chase. And the problem there is that Maddox is going to be joining the party, puts in the cross of the Salmon Force.
That is the Salmon Force, and that is the cut. Harriet, ladies and gentlemen, Ukok, Team Indonesia. As of 8 minutes.
Yeah, is dominating this game now, ladies and gentlemen. You got a 4,000 goal lead in their favor, and we have to remember these are not teams we are speaking of anymore. This country versus country about Mobile Legends,
suppressing all the resources for Team Philippines. Ukok even having the third turtle buff. They will want to go for the tier 2. They can actually go for the tier 3 as Team Philippines still picking off Ura in the bottom lane. There's the chase down.
They don't want to stop. Onto Ura. Ura gonna be going down, but at what cost? That is gonna be an inner mid lane turret loss with the 4 members of Indonesia all going for the push. This is gonna be a big problem in terms of the whole team gold for Philippines.
Oh my, that is the last insanity. What a burst from Peter. Is this the retaliation play that Philippines wants? Oh, the Claude ulti!
No, it's not. There's a lot of damage coming in from Badek. The X-Borg also going to be a very big problem there. And even the Harry, that's an inhibitor turret going down. The lowest timer here for Team Philippines is 11 seconds. There's a lot of freedom to open up all doors of Team Philippines. Indonesia is coming in strong in this game 1.
It took View and Hayes 20 seconds just to get Ura. Just to get Ura. And with that 20 seconds, easy access for Team Indonesia in the top lane to get the push.
And Ura's still gonna be Ura, my man. I mean, Ura has done short. Has made the Lord so squishy. It's just a solo Lord. There's a bit of help there coming into Wukong, but it doesn't matter.
This is the single player game from Ura. He can actually join the Tekken 7 right now in the bottom side. 10 minutes in, clear dominance for Team Indonesia. What Team PH needs the heavy pick-up game. They need the Harriet. They need Ura. They need to shut down Ura. They need to be very careful.
And they need to be very careful. That's the last insanity. It's very, very close. On to Badek, they were able to be shot big damage on the armor, the Finaga armor of Badek, but still very vulnerable they are when it comes to the last insanity.
Let's see here, Team Indonesia setting up for the Lord lane. Even the Lord, ladies and gentlemen, is with them.
Yes.
As Team Philippines doesn't even know what to do.
We get the Lord here. Again, this is not a raging Lord. I'm gonna go directly into an inhibitor. Somebody got spotted here into the bottom lane side. It's a Magula lock. Holy Crystal available for Curse, but it doesn't matter anymore. Hayes doing what he can to do to get this to beat down Badek, but Badek still stands up a maniac here for the Harry, and that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Team Indonesia takes this game 1 against Philippines.
What a love set for game number 1, Indonesia. No sweat at all.
No sweat at all. Ura has taken a lot of attention from the Team Philippines. Team Philippines investing a lot of resources, is just trying to take down that off-lane Masha, and to so much cost.
Didn't even touch any tower health, ladies and gentlemen, for Team Philippines, and this is actually very sad for you and the guys. Again, Team Indonesia just proving that they are still the champs. They are still the champs of 2019.
And that is a very, very dangerous indicator there.
Yes,
and a very,
very dangerous.
It's a very, very big call for Team Philippines. What is up? We are nearing the Southeast Asian Games. This is the test event. And, we don't know. Don't know if they're hiding something. But my best guess here is, I think, maybe draft-wise, they might be hiding something.
I think
in terms of effort, they're doing their best.
I think the draft is good, but what they need to do is to answer the early game, because immediately when the Harriet went level 4, immediately went for tower dives, and then instant rotation of the Gargoyle plus the Turtle Take. They need to answer the Turtle Take every time there is a first blood, because you go for first blood before the 2-minute mark. Before, if your core is at level 4, you will immediately go for the dive in to the tier 1 tower. And then, if you are successful, immediately after 10 or 15 seconds, go for the turtle. And then after that, that is the snowball for Team Indonesia. You can actually end the game before 9 minutes.
So that's for Indonesia.
That's for Indonesia.
So you're the one who
That's
coach,
what happened.
you coach.
Yeah, I'm the coach. I'm the coach. I'm the new coach. But I mean, Indonesia played it clean. Clean
they
Mobile
played
Legends.
It really clean. They played it really clean. Especially on the idea of Masha. I'm still not sure why there's a lot of pressure put onto Masha. I do understand Masha is still very dangerous, especially going for the split push. But a 4-1 is very, very effective now. Masha, and there's a call for a direct counter for that.
Yes, kiting is not actually the answer to the Masha. You need a crowd control skill to get her. But again, the Kaja for Team Philippines was busy enough to get the Harriet and even getting the Claude. Lots of mobility for Team Indonesia to deal with. That's why Team Philippines doesn't even have any form of crowd control to answer the Wombolicious team fight. Yeah,
man. I think there's a call for damage, maybe a call for sustain. For Team Philippines, that's one possibility.
I think a call for
call for sustain.
I think a call for early game aggression.
For
Fight fire with fire.
Fight fire with fire.
Fight fire with fire.
Yeah, nitty-gritty.
Yeah, maybe nitty-gritty, because the snowball is gonna affect you in the late game. As we've seen, it took them more than 20 seconds to get the
Who do you think played it well for Indonesia? I want to say Horus, but actually Horus, what she did is just he just got the attention of Team Philippines. It's actually very easy to counter. But I think the expert also played pretty well.
The expert played pretty well. There is a threat of the combination of the Tigreal ultimate, the impulsion, and the export. But I do feel that it's the Masha cutting in the first cut for the first 4 minutes of the game.
For the early game,
the cut in the mid lane.
An idea of her participating.
Yeah,
the early fights.
It forced the Philippines to defend their tower first before answering the turtle, before engaging in the turtle fight. Yeah.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this event is presented to you by Smart together with Razer, the official esports partner of the 38 SEA Games. Again, many thanks as well to the Philippine SEA Games organizing committee and to everyone who is here with us seeing, like getting a quick preview.
Yes, thank you so much. A quick preview
of the upcoming games.
Of the real SEA Games.
Of the real SEA Games.
Of the real SEA Games.
non-test event.
So right now we're just waiting for the game number 2 to start. Team Philippines.
This is such a nice event, because we get to test our English.
For the first time in forever.
Yes.
First time in forever.
If we say the boxing is finished, we say the English.
The boxing is over.
The boxing is over.
The boxing is over. But again, Team Philippines, they are going back to the drawing board. They actually this is the combined minds of Dale and Panda. Actually coaching. I think they are talking about the side lane here.
Yes, and of course
of Genji and Few.
And I'm gonna like to call on the attention of all of our audience. Again, do not forget to follow
Yeah.
and like all pages pertaining to the Southeast Asian Games. There's the Philippine Sea Games Organizing Committee.
Yeah.
There's the CBOL. There is Sea Games itself. You also have each respective pages for each team, for
Yeah,
each
and
country
even for each
representative,
players.
for each players
Even
as
for
well.
each
Be sure
players.
to follow them, follow their stories, follow all media channels that is covering the story of all the e-athletes.
I do feel that Team Philippines needs the Estes pick
Yes, that's right.
right here. Yeah, the Haze is actually good in the Estes pick, or even go for the Valor, because if they go for the basic type of strategy, which is the carry late game, it's actually not working. I mean, we can see it in the draft itself. The Granger ban was actually a bait pick for the carry, or either the Bruno. So if that happens, it's a clear indication that Team Indonesia is in the driver's seat. Plus, Team Indonesia is in the red side.
Yeah.
Is the second pick. So Team Philippines really needs to get their
Make
heads
the most,
up.
make the most out of
it. Yeah.
that, out of that blue side pick, out of that first pick advantage per se, because sometimes even the red side could be an advantage.
Yeah.
If you open up a lot of things. Again, we're still not seeing a lot of things here. Really, we're not seeing the Kimi, we're not seeing the Valor.
Yeah.
Of course, we're not seeing the sustained heroes. We're not seeing a Terislam. We're not seeing a Gushin yet.
We're not seeing
the Selena
Yeah.
from Indonesia. I wanna see more.
I want to see more. I want to see more as well. Hylas is the best band right now due to this sustained fights. The Hylas can just go for the glorious pathway and then instant disengage to everyone and then reset after that.
Yeah, the glorious pathway covers a lot of ground, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives a lot of movement speed for your allies, and on top of that movement speed, so there's this distance between the speed of your ally and of your enemy, because the enemy is also slowed.
Yep.
So it's
Exactly.
not just you getting faster; it's also your enemy getting slower. So there's a big gap there.
Yeah.
That gap is the advantage emphasized there by the ultimate of Hylos.
Exactly. Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, again in Mobile Legends.
Legends.
The first 2 minutes is the most important, part of the game. By the way, this event is presented by Smart together with Razer, the official esports partner of the 30th SEA Games, and our thanks as well to PHISGOC. Yeah.
That's the Philippine Sea Games.
Philippine Sea Games organizing committee.
Yes. Of course, those who are not familiar what Mobile Legends is, again, Mobile Legends is a massive online battle arena type of game. Of course, on mobile phones.
Yeah.
Played on mobile phones. So it's like a mobile MOBA.
MOBA.
So again, the term MOBA does not necessarily equate to Mobile Legends.
Mobile
guys.
Legends
so
only. Yeah.
MOBA means massive online battle arena. It's a game format wherein you take in a hero.
Yep.
You play with 4 of your friends.
You
4
choose
of
a
your friends.
character,
You
right?
choose a character. You get spawned in a map, a map usually composed of 3 lanes,
Yep.
the one in the mid, the one at the top, the one in the bottom lane, and the idea is to simply destroy the base of the enemy team.
Yeah.
The enemy team has the same mission, they also want to destroy your base, but before going into that base, you will encounter a lot of obstacles. You will
Your team
need to
is
destroy
banning.
turrets,
Yeah.
you will need to kill minions, you will need to fight the heroes of the
A
enemy
lot
team.
of challenges. A lot of challenges. Of course, thank you so the titos and the titas they're watching on TV.
Because it's
this
time.
is it. This is the pro scene.
This
This is the pro scene.
This is crazy. This
Yes.
is the first
Your team
time
is
again that we
banning.
have esports in the Southeast Asian Games.
All right. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2.
1-0 in favor of Indonesia. Indonesia being in the blue side here, and of course Philippines on the red.
Kufra is the first ban of Team Indonesia. Doesn't
Your
want to
team
deal
is banning.
with the early game crowd control plus Grok for Team Philippines. This is an interesting export ban, so there's a lot of opening again for the Masha.
For the Masha.
And actually the Tams on the side lane and even the Terizla.
That's very interesting. The Indonesia, I think they have a lot of respect on export just because they don't want that one to be
Your
one of the
team
options here for
is
Team
picking.
Philippines. I think Indonesia is eyeing on to Akaja. That's why Philippines removed that one. Now what would be available could be
This
a
is a
choke.
Harit. This is a Harit.
Harit or Cho. Well, let's see.
It's either a Harit pick or a Cho pick, let's see, or probably an Esmeralda for Team Indonesia. I don't know if Philippines is baiting this one, but there you go.
They're gonna go for
Another Harit pick for Team Indonesia.
let's see if this will be a Cho, Esmeralda, or I don't think this is really to go for any tank options, but right now my best bet should be a Cho.
Yeah, it is a
It
Cho.
should be a Cho.
It's a Cho or an Akai. You need to actually disposition the
Harit.
the Harit inside the Zaman Force.
Yeah. Oh, yes, Hylos.
Whoa.
Forget the Hylos of our radars. We get the Cho Hylos. Totally no problem. Cho benefits a lot from the glorious pathway of Hylos.
Yeah, the glorious pathway, and actually the early game aggression of the Hylos.
Yes.
Has a lot of HP. The Cho can just probably bait out because of the Harit and the Hylos and the Cho. You can bait out arrivals for this game. Plus, you can actually get the arrival for yourself. Go in, arrival in with the extra proc of the passive movement speed of the arrival can help you a lot. But right now, Team Indonesia, this is it, the ticking time bomb.
Yes, the ticking time bomb. Now with the removal of actually with the selection of Hylos on the side of Team Philippines, Indonesia is confident here that they won't be picking Lolita anymore. That's why Akini got secured early on for the side of Indonesia. Philippines has options now to maybe pick an Esmeralda, but that might suffer from the Akai and also Kimi. But they will go for the Lolita.
Yeah, they
will still go for a 2-tank setup and just go all-in fighter with this Cho. That is very interesting.
Yeah, they baited the Lolita. That was a flex Cho for Team Philippines.
So they want not?
So right now, Team Philippines lacks the mage and the marksman.
They need to choose two hard-hitting heroes here. They need to choose two hard-hitting heroes because they are losing a lot of damage now compared to the Kimi and Harit. For the bats here, that might be Esmeralda.
Yeah, what they need is the backline assassin for Team Philippines who needs to get the Kimi. The Gushan is open, the Kagura is open here, but Team Indonesia is again controlling the Giraffe. Forcing Philippines to go for the Lolita and probably forcing them for another Granger or a carry pick.
Yeah, actually the Granger might pop up here onto the side of Team Philippines. One thing is for sure, they need damage.
All right.
Your team is picking.
All right, so we had news.
Yeah, we got some news. We got some updates here. But again, they got the Masha removal here on the side of Team Philippines. They don't want to deal with that fighter. We are left with the Teresla. We are left with the Leomord for the side of Indonesia.
Okay.
Now, that's a very hard-hitting back line.
That's about it.
If they decided to go for the Gord, Kagura would be okay. Chango might... I'm not so sure, but Kagura would be totally okay.
I think that they need the Chango for this game. I think that they have chosen the wrong hero. I know because they opted to go for the splash combo that can actually be defended by the Akai and the Zaman Force. The Chango is actually a good answer to the Kimi, but again, let's see, ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia is hovering the Minotaur and the Badang.
Minotaur.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. There's a hover towards the Minotaur tabs. So Indonesia would be relying their damage on the Kimi and on the Harit.
Okay,
so Minera Marksman here, the Granger will be shown here for Team Philippines. I think that will easily be locked in.
Yep.
Or a clock, maybe, just to make sure you're safe from the Minotaur.
I think this is looking hard for Team Indonesia. They don't have any form of good Kimi backs out, which is actually very popular right now. Getting paired up with the Diki. But this is just either a Kimi side lane, but again, they have the jungle. So what they will do is go for the clash, hope that they will win, hope that they will outplay, and then they can immediately push because of the Kimi jungle emblem and the Kimi damage.
One thing's for sure, I think Philippines won this draft here. That's all I can say. I think the Philippines has a really nice cards here out of this draft. What I want to emphasize here is that still Indonesia plays really good Mobile Legends.
Yeah.
And if you're really good, doesn't matter. If you're really good, again, you can just bait out some of the spells coming in from Team Philippines, and that would be it. They have nicely engaged. They have nice objective take. I have a lot of expectations from Team Indonesia, especially with 4 members coming in from EVOS and just 1 from Onyx. You can easily roll out a Kimi composition on that dynamic, and that kind of dynamic.
Is this a pocket pick from the Kimi here for the side of Indonesia? Meanwhile, I am putting my cards on the vintage Kenji Cho. So if you have the Masha in the early game, in game number 1, we have Kenji's show right now. It's actually massive for Team Philippines. Why? he is one of the option to one option to get the Kimi from the back line. So it's all up to Kenji with the high and dry, and again with the split push. So we are just waiting, ladies and gentlemen, for the loading screen. I am putting my cards again for Team Philippines.
I'm putting my cards as well for Team Philippines on this one. They won this draft. I think it's too much.
Yeah, it's too much.
If they lost. If they lost with this kind of draft, the draft was really good. They can do a lot of stuff there in the early game.
Minotaur is actually falling up in the tank tier right now because there's only one way for the Minotaur. There's only one thing for the Minotaur to do is just go for the Minoan's Fury, and then after that,
and that's a lot. And it's longer.
Yes.
It's 40 seconds, I think, in level 1. It's longer right now. Minoan Fury has been nerfed months ago. That's why it's falling down meta. Again, we're still left with Brock. We're still left with Akai, and Hylos actually is more popular compared to Minotaur.
But the Minotaur will go with the Kimi, but for the sustained heal and the push.
You know what, Manjin? I'm still curious. Why no Leo Mord? Why no Tesla?
Because Leo Mord.
You know the answer.
Yeah, I know the answer, man. I've been studying, man.
Oh, why, man?
Because again, the Terizla is open, but they've chosen not to. You need you probably need another form of heal with the Terizla to complement his passive.
There are better options.
Yeah.
You got Cho already.
You got Cho already.
You got the Masha option, right?
But if you have a Leomord in your lineup, you go for arrival plays. So I mean, I think Team Philippines is just doing the classic game. And plus, if you're gonna think about it, Leomord is the Harriet is actually good against the Leomord without the horse of Leo. Yeah.
No, we're not seeing that much arrival plays here.
Yeah, there's no.
I mean, here in the Philippines, it's pretty big on the running meta in our country. In
I want to see.
In Indonesia, I've known that it's not really a rival. It's more they're leaning a bit more on the revitalize.
They're leaning a bit more about the revitalize, the healing game from the lane. It's about the lane control.
I think revitalize is pretty strong. The idea of you got heal is already good enough. It's pretty good. I think in all cases, in a lot of cases, but having an AOE heal.
Yes, we've seen Tree revitalize yesterday. For when we were playing ranked games. I mean, the heals. You go for the mid game. You go for the mid lane. All of you, and then just go for a clash, and then just pop the revitalize all at once. You are basically playing brawl. You are basically playing brawl. Especially if you're having a Kimi, especially if you're having a marksman.
You have like a mini base there. If
you have a marksman that can actually push very quick, a hard-hitting marksman, just pop the revitalize instant. You have another hero which is actually Estes.
Yeah, and the funny part about revitalize is compared to the usual heal, you cannot cancel revitalize.
Yes.
If you got hit under the revitalize, you still heal up.
Yes.
That's the thing about revitalize.
So we have a little bit of a pause, ladies and gentlemen, as we are waiting for the loading screen. I mean, if you're for Team Philippines right now, it's up to Kenji to deal.
But it's do we have the official hashtags for Team Philippines? I think it's hashtag
Lakad Matatag.
No? We have the Lakad Matatag
Lakad
hashtag.
Matatag.
So you can actually use that whenever you're cheating for the country, in comments, in shares, anywhere actually in social media. Ladies and gentlemen, again, this event is presented by Smart together with Razer, the official esports partner of the 38th SEA Games, with many takes to the Philippines SEA Games organizing committee.
I like the Esmeralda ban here for the side of Indonesia. It neglects the Kimi damage. So they do have a plan. If I'm not mistaken, they will probably go for an early invade. Why? Because they do have Tams. Tams is a good jungler. They do have Minotaur that can actually heal. And Kimi with the extra proc of damage. So for Team Philippines of this game, they need to secure their jungle. They need to protect and be alert whenever there is a jungle take, which is actually the best asset for Team Indonesia, as we've seen for game number 1.
Yeah, and you have to remember, I think this is a Kimi comp. This is really a Kimi comp already. I mean, they're very dependent on the Kimi, so the assassination of the Kimi is very important. I think it will boil down to those dead sonatas.
Yes,
even if it doesn't translate onto execute, at least deliver the back line to a level of health that will make it awkward for them to continue the fight.
Yes, Philippines actually at least have the burst damage in the mid game to through the late game. Yeah, the Yin Yang overturn is massive. It can be tanked up by the Akai, and the Death Sonata. You need to land all of those with a Harriet. But again, this is again a Harriet, man.
Harriet, yeah.
Ever since January, we've seen a lot of Harriet.
Actually, ever since
plays.
this hero was released,
Yeah.
he never left.
Yeah, he never left.
the band.
Moontoon is actually hates the Harriet
Even with
by
the nerf.
nerfing him time to time.
Even with the nerf, still the kit of Harry
Yes.
is considered very strong.
Very strong. The magic damage.
That we've seen a lot of tournaments that it still counts as the #1 ban or #1 pick for everyone.
The Class S mid laner, which is a priority pick of every blue.
Remember
side.
when the Zaman Force doesn't just put slow? It stuns you.
It stuns you. The mini stun, right?
Yeah,
The mini
ridiculous. It's like a long range Luminous Blast
Yes.
of Lolita.
I want them to use the Chango actually. It is the Zaman Force.
Without
right?
the channel.
Yeah, without the channel. When the Harriet goes for the Zaman Force, Chango will just pop the meteor shower, and there you have it. You instantly made a target for the Chango to land all of those ultimates.
I think all of our players are now in playing position. Marshals are signaling for OK in every player's side as they want to resume. Again, guys, this is already game 2 of this Best of 3 series, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it's already 1-0 as well for Team Indonesia
5
against
seconds till the
Philippines.
enemy
Here we
reaches
go.
the
On the blue side,
battlefield.
Team Indonesia,
Smash
Igarugok for the Hari, Omnigaon
All
for the
troops
Kimi,
deployed.
Pani Unyu Kakale for this Akai, Idilbanek for this Minotaur, and Ura for the tanks. I hope these are good names, you know.
Let's see.
If
Yeah, it is. It
translates
is. It
properly
is.
to
It is. It is. Okay. Okay. Hayes will be using the Lolita, Mew as the Granger. Lasty will be using the Hylos. Carl Dizzy on his signature Kagura, and Kenji as that show. I was mistaken. A Shinbu. It's the 4-1 rotation for
Yeah,
Team
4-1.
Indonesia here for the Kimi lineup. Which
that's another point blank range there by few. Landed as well onto Ura. That's the first from Ura since game 1.
nice exchange. Nice exchange for Team Philippines for the first 2 minutes. Even though the tower in the top lane was destroyed, they did get the first blood gold, but the
ever kill here done by Indonesia.
But let's see. Carl TZ on a killing spree, having the lightning truncheon.
Yeah, that's a lightning truncheon, the 5-minute mark.
The 5-minute
lightning
mark.
truncheon is an expensive item, really.
Yeah,
that's a pretty early lightning truncheon.
The pretty early lightning truncheon
Boom.
can burst the Kimi right now. That is the stun.
Oh my God.
It is the Hylos backs out, and that is the mega kill from View. A fake way of the dragon for Kenji to defend the top lane, but this is a failed Kimi composition for Team Indonesia, and View, the best Granger right now in the Philippines, just too strong in the bottom lane. But this is the answer of Team Indonesia. They want a clash in the top lane.
And Indonesia overstaying their work of their up top. PHISGOC here has won. Azaman for still up available for Kenji, and he's gonna be going for the dance. Hustle and bustle. Carl
Nice
Z here,
play.
and also
Nice
the back line there is the Dominant Blast. Flicker to the side, was able to catch there against the Harit Ura. Now run away. There is the chase done by Ace and Carl Z as well.
Carl TZ wants that retaliation play. Here comes the Dead Zone Nada. The last bullet will miss, but View doesn't even care. That is a monster kill. 6 minutes in, Team Philippines. What a showing.
What a showing here. 112, ladies and gentlemen, 6,000 on the goal lead. The Curse helmet will be secured in by Las.
To negate the magic damage coming in from the passive of Ukok. So View and Kenji pressuring in all of the lanes of Team Indonesia right now.
We got the pusher onto the inner top lane turret, ladies and gentlemen. There's the star dot in by Lusty. That's Sonata to follow up by View. There is also the Rhapsody, and that delivers godlike for View.
900 physical damage from this Granger, the Danger Granger. Here we go. There's the Domino Blast onto Lasimi. Where are you going? That is the umbrella. That is the splash. Here comes the ultimate from Lusty, and we are going inside the base.
Going into the base. A massacre done in towards the Akai. Or here, done in by Kenji. As you can actually see, the push door for this inhibitor turret. That's the final door to be taken down. No need to take on others as they go for the core.
And I think it's over. I think it's game. View, another Death Sonata. Nice try of the Miniman's Fury from the Minotaur. He will just flicker out. Team Philippines, ladies and gentlemen, takes game number 2. And it is not scripted. We're going to game number 3.
Congratulations to Team Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, a very interesting but kind of expected result from that draft. Again, I just want to say that the draft was very, very strong compared to the draft there by Team Indonesia. That was a one-dimension draft. I think that's just a Kimi draft. And again, a Harit
draft.
That's just front line and back line. If you miss up the crowd controls, that's over.
I think that Kenji was the key player of that game. The Kimi composition was very crucial for the first 1 minute and a half. But because of the Kenji cut in the top lane, negating the potential jungle take of Team Indonesia, and surviving the pickup, by using that 4-1 by using the flicker and the Shunpo. Instant snowball. Again, first 2 minutes, man. First 2 minutes of MLBB counts.
Yes, the first 2 minutes. Be sure to get a lot of knowledge when it comes to utilizing that first 2 minutes. There is no such thing as let us just be safe.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
just
go
get
for the
into
late game.
Let's just go for the lane.
Let's go for the 35
lane.
minutes.
There's
There's
no
nothing.
such thing.
There's nothing. If
There's
you,
no such thing in Mobile Legends.
yeah, if you are a pro player right
If you
now,
watch pro player
yeah,
Mobile
if you're a pro player right now, when the announcer says "Welcome to Mobile Legends,"
That's game time.
That's game time.
That's game
That
time.
is pro time.
Yeah.
That is pro time.
Do not
And then, yeah, after the first turtle, then
There is comeback. There is
Yeah, there's
comeback for
comeback,
Mobile
yeah.
Legends, but for the running meta, there is no such thing as we play for the late game.
Yep.
We farm first.
no
Yeah.
farm, no.
You're gonna sound cute.
You're gonna sound good if you farm first.
If you farm first
You farm
in
first.
Mobile
But again,
Legends.
that is the Kimi comp. That is the playstyle of the Kimi comp because of the Kimi, the power spike. Because of the jungle emblem that gives him extra damage to the large monsters and extra damage to the towers. So we're
Game
going to game 3.
Game 3.
We're going to game 3.
Indonesia.
Are we gonna see that? Are we gonna see the Terizla or the Estes?
Yes. You know, man, Indonesia, Philippines, it's always, big question.
Always so the battle of the
It's
greats.
always a big question when it comes to these two countries, when it comes to Mobile Legends.
Yes, the battle of the greats.
The battle of the great countries when it comes to Mobile Legends. We've seen them, our last shot kasi with them.
Yeah, we've seen
back
them
then
time and time
on
again.
that one arena, right? Now
Yes.
we are here on another arena, San Juan Arena, ladies and gentlemen, just on the test event for the Southeast Asian Games. But still, it's a sight to see.
It's a sight to see. I want to see. I want to see a 25-minute game for our game number 3. Plus, we do have another MLBB game later, which is
tonight.
actually a best of 5. Yes.
Best of 5. Wow. Wow, again, guys, do not forget this event is presented to you by Smart. Also, ladies and gentlemen, together with Razer, the official esports partner of the 38th Southeast Asian Games.
I want to see the S-test right now for Team Philippines, but I guess it is another Granger pick. Few has been practicing this one, the Granger pick, and if you are actually aggressive with Few on the Granger, that is insta-kill.
It's insta-kill.
As we've seen for game number 2. Yeah.
And of course, we need to just wait out, of course, before we head on to game number 3. I'm not so sure how the sides will be decided on, but I think it will be done by coin toss.
Yeah, that is a coin toss if we go game
number 3.
If we go game 3. I think that Team Indonesia risk the Minotaur pick and probably the Akai pick on that one because again it can be counted. For Team Philippines?
For Indonesia.
Yeah.
For Indonesia. Selena might
That is actually a good 2-1-2.
That's a good 2-1-2. Selena and Stadala with just two. Selena could actually work just with one body.
Yes.
As long as the arrow lands, that's a lot of damage already.
Yes,
Together
yes.
with one body, just so she can escape whenever he goes in.
Yeah, and the arrow was too long, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Actually, you can just bait out the arrow, the 3-second arrow for the arrivals or probably the purifies for Team Philippines. So let's see, ladies and gentlemen, what's gonna happen for game number 3. The players are now back in their stations and they are strategizing, and that is the thumbs up coming in from our organizers.
Of course, for our viewers there, do not forget to tell us your insights. So, of course, this is being broadcasted online on so many channels. Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to watch in any of them. Be sure to support them. Share anything that you can share. But, of course, with the official hashtag, is, of course, this Philippines. So, you need the official hashtag, hashtag Lakad Matatag.
Walk with swag, man.
Yeah.
Walk with swag.
Walk with swag.
Walk with swag.
That's the...
All right, another
That's
coup.
the direct translation. Kufraban from Indonesia. Indonesia on the blue side. So it will be the same by game 2.
Yep.
Indonesia will be on blue side. Philippines will be on the red.
Another Kufra and Grak ban for both of the teams. They want to eliminate all the tanks and the supports for this game.
Export.
And this is again Team Indonesia. Why fix what's not broken?
Not broken?
Let's ban again the Kufra and the Exborg.
Let's see.
Is this another Harriet opening?
Philippines should ban Kaja, in my opinion. I think Kaja is very, very dangerous in the hands of Indonesia. That enables already our suggestion of the 2-2-1s or 3-2 compositions. Because Kaja just with one hero is already dangerous enough. Kaja doesn't need to be paired up with a 4-1 composition.
So
let's see if will that be a Kaja, because there's the option for Indonesia to secure quickly the mashup. Let's see if this will be a mashup first pick.
You're actually right. They banned the Kaja, the threat of the pick-off. But
so they went for the high loss. They want the high loss.
Yep.
So that's they want to deny that towards Lusty.
This is a safe setup for Team Indonesia. They have a lot of options here. You have the Cho. You have the Chango. The Chango is a good combination with the high loss, using the Glorious Pathway as a speedway.
Yeah, I think they'd go for